Yeah.
Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 104. And it's a rather big one here. My name is Brandon. I am your host for this episode. And like any great adventure, you probably shouldn't go alone. And I brought two buddies with me. First up, Eric.
A blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me.
Ooh.
And we also brought Dave.
Don't worry, Mr. Hudson. I'm here for you. That's what I imagine the sign man sounding like.
Oh,
in real
Captain,
life.
my Captain.
Oh, please.
I honestly thought you guys were going to be funny and just do actual voice lines from the game. Which
Yeah,
Hey.
Yep.
No, I thought about that.
Wanted to get an actual quote. There is cutscenes in this game, so,
Yeah.
there is quotes.
Yeah. No, we'll get into the voiceovers. But yes, so we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom, which is the follow-up hit that just came out a few weeks before this recording, to Breath of the Wild, and these are the Legend of Zelda games. So if you
Yes, they are.
follow along with this podcast, you may know how this episode may go.
Or you may not. It might surprise you.
Do not.
Well, I
Yes,
don't know how
this is not a Nintendo podcast. This is not a Legend of Zelda podcast. This is
We
a
are the
podcast
Nomads.
of you never know what we'll like, what don't like, where we'll go. It just is always going to be something fictional, and that's pretty much it. So hold on to your horse
Butts.
or elk or whatever animal that you tamed in this game. But let's get into it. But before we do that, Dave, what other adventures do we have queued up?
Oh, yes. We got a myriad of journeys ahead of us. Next week, we're going back into comic book land. I don't know if we really do many comic book movies here, but we are doing
And a couple.
The Joker. I haven't seen it yet. I'm really excited to go see that, but that's got some interesting views on it. Then getting into summer blockbuster territory, we're gonna get back into our Schwarzenegger verse and get Eric caught up on True Lies.
Right.
Which is
Never
a
seen it.
Cameron. It's a James Cameron movie.
It's one of my Arnold
And
holes.
That's a good one.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I always want to fill my Arnold holes. You got it.
You have a
Don't we
hole.
all? Don't we
I'll
all?
fix it. Show me the hole.
No. After that, we're gonna go see some Contact. Go see some aliens. Extraterrestrial Life.
Yep.
90s movie.
90s movie. Yeah.
Baby Matthew McConaughey. And then we are going
Jodie
to
Foster,
the
yeah.
Journey to the West.
Yeah.
Which is Eric. Is this Japanese?
This is Chinese. So Journey to the
Chinese.
West is an
Right.
ancient Chinese story, like folklore. And it's a lot of anime, particularly Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, have been based off this story. So it'll be interesting
Okay.
to see that one.
Looks pretty
Submitted
wacky.
from a listener, though.
Yeah,
specifically.
Tejas. Shout out to Tejas. We got one of his recs on the schedule. He's always throwing recommendations our way. So we'd be more than happy to check some of those out. Especially since it's a foreign film. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always
Gotta-
looking for something
Yeah.
weird.
right.
You never know to taste break it,
yeah, absolutely.
So that'll take us through June though. So we'll get a calendar out there on the socials. But speaking of socials, Eric.
Yes, I will. Take it away.
We pinged the internet.
We
What's
did
going on over
indeed.
there? Throw it
Uh,
over to you.
over at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter, we asked the question what everyone thought of Tears of the Kingdom so far. Chris Logan says, well, to be totally honest, I would say it's a strong contender for greatest game ever made.
Whoa.
There's a lot of
Clearly,
good...
he hasn't played Skyrim, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Okay, well,
2.
don't even. It's too early for that. Diabolical says the beginning and end of video games, the GOAT, no question. Wow, a lot of people.
Not the beginning. Probably it's not going to be the end, but it could be considered. It could be considered GOAT status, though.
Pineapple Pizza Mafia says game of the year for sure. The building elements are dope, and Not a Strong Start says Dope so far. A lot of dope here.
Well, dope. Yeah.
The gameplay is awesome. And then our good buddy Jake said, "Can't wait for winter, so I have time to try this one." So,
Ooh,
Jake, I hope you
get
get
in there, Jake.
I hope you get time to play.
Yeah, don't let that
Tears of
get
the Kingdom.
spoiled on you, Jake, because
Yeah.
it's hard to like be on any social media and not see random shit about this game.
Yeah. And it's not even
It is part of
spoilers
the
like
zeitgeist now.
not like story spoilers or anything. It's like mechanical
It's like-
spoilers, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't even watch the trailer to this game, to be honest with you. We'll get
a
into
lot.
all this actually.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. So before we get into Act 2, I'll just say, we're gonna try our best. We know the game came out. It's
2
a big
weeks
game.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we get it. We will not really we'll try our best not to spoil anything, but I think we can't not talk about certain areas which are big deals to the game. So I think go play the game before you probably listen to this. Or
We'll give
I don't know.
we'll give a spoiler warning. We're just gonna start general impressions and then probably pretty quickly get into like
It's
you
the
know,
mechanics
what the
like you
game
said.
is. Right.
I just want to be careful with that. So yeah, that's your warning. Other than that, saddle up, whistle, fade away.
Paraglide. Paraglide.
Yeah.
travel,
Dive
paraglide, whatever
dive
you
down
gotta
from
do.
the sky.
Tons to do. Yeah, and then when we get back, we'll dig into Tears of the Kingdom.
Right after this.
Right after that.
Good thing I had us muted when you said that. Oh god. Well, we're live on the internet, so the internet would have heard that.
we have returned safely from Act 1 to Act 2. So everybody get comfortable, sit by the fire, cook some food. I don't know if you got some apples or you collected some fish. But now's the time to eat those as we dig into what the heck we've been doing in Hyrule. I know this is like a big game to a lot of people. Like, this is people's Star Wars. This is people's Lord of the Rings. Like, this is a big deal. When these games come out, it means a lot to them. And it seems like the track record's mostly positive. I really don't remember there being a stinker. There might have been some like hiccups in some moments and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like whenever these games come out, Legend of Zelda games, that universal praise.
I have something to say.
Pretty good, yeah.
Everyone shits on Spirit Tracks. I think that's a good game. I know neither of you have played that game because neither of you had a Nintendo DS, but
handhelds are whole mine.
The Zelda games on DS, pretty darn good.
Yeah,
and you drive a fucking magic train. Like, come on.
Wow. Which makes this one seem a little bit more believable, but like, I mean, I played all the console ones, but like when you hit Breath of the Wild, that's kind of where it like twisted away from the Zelda template,
traditional,
that they had been set up for like decades. So.
Oh, okay. I honestly, my history is the first two Zelda games. I played them a lot when I was a kid, and then I played A Link to the Past. That's Super Nintendo. I never beat it, and then I went back to it in college or just after college, and I got somewhere and I got stuck and I stopped playing it. So I never beat it, and I totally missed out on an N64. I was a PC gamer at that point with PlayStation, and I just never played N64 games. So I never played like those big games. Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, those were.
And they look good from afar.
Dude, yeah. You have Nintendo Switch Online, don't you? You have the power to play these games. At least go A Link to the Past. You gotta finish A Link to the Past.
I've started it on my Switch for sure.
That
absolutely,
long.
yes.
There's like 12 dungeons in that one. So
I mean that game's like 30 hours long itself or whatever.
I've only
fantastic though.
Finished or beat Link to the Past like within the past 5-6 years maybe.
Okay.
But I remember, it was when we were still working together. Is when I played it for the first time on Nintendo Switch Online. I played through the whole game, and it was fantastic.
And then, like, Wind Waker came out, I had what was that? GameCube?
That was another departure of the...
I had a GameCube at the end of that console's life, and then, like, I grabbed one at the end or whatever, and I was like, all right, I'll get this cheap, and I'll get a couple games, and that was one of the games, Wind Waker, and I was like, wow, this is such a cool looking game. And I've played it a couple times since. Never finished it, but really good.
It's good that cell shading that they. I don't think they really went back to that, but
no. But I like how they
now it's kind of like a evolution of it.
I like how like there's always like these eras of like art styles. It's not limitations of the console. You know, they purposely have an art style going in.
Yeah,
which I think is last longer.
A nice touch. Yeah,
like they age well because I think I had the remake on Wii U, great console, but that game still looked really good.
All of Nintendo's games, like Mario games, like from the GameCube era, Sunshine still looks great today.
Yeah,
you know,
you go back and play like Ocarina of Time though, and that was like the first 3D Zelda game. Like environments are rough.
I mean they're
muddy and dirty. And
it's still still a great game though, like at its core.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn water temple.
And then I think the last one I played that I got pretty far in, which I think has been made like 3 times over. It's oh god, it was redone. It's really cartoony. It's like you look down on it. It was a GameCube game. I'm sorry, it's a Game Boy game. Then it was on
Link's Awakening.
Oh, Link's Awakening. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, yeah, it was originally on like a Game Boy, I think.
Game Boy Advance, I think.
It was it came out for the original Game Boy re-released on like a color version, Game Boy Color, and then they did the remake for Switch.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's been made a few times. You can go. It's just cool to see the same game, but like played. I don't know. I like that stuff. I was playing that and I got into that. I got pretty far into it. I don't know, I just don't beat these games. Breath of the Wild, I think if you've listened to the show, you know my feelings towards that game. I've changed. I'm a little more optimistic now. I think I like it. I didn't like it for the first few years I've had it. But here we are, finally getting to the big.
I think you had just
Tears of the Kingdom.
recently gave it a real fair
Over the
shake.
winter, I
Yeah.
had a good time with it, and I went in knowing that the weapon system's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Yeah, some
And,
people like it, some
once you
people hate it.
ex-
Some people
Yeah.
like it,
Way
some
to
people
swallow
hate it.
that one down, choke that one down, Brandon.
Yeah. So, but that's
It's-
me. I don't know what you guys with your relationship with these Zelda games, but
I mean, it's funny because, The Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite video game franchises, but I've only actually finished a handful of Zelda games, like Link to the Past, like I said. I'm trying to think of all the ones I've actually beaten. A Link Between Worlds, which was the 3DS one, which is an amazing game.
I heard that was good.
Spirit Tracks, another DS one. I think I finished Phantom Hourglass, which is another DS one. I've played a lot of Ocarina of Time, but I mean, I've said on the show before, I've never actually beaten it, never actually finished it. And Breath of the Wild. Like, I've played a large majority of them. There was some that I missed. Like, I never had a Wii, so I didn't play Twilight Princess.
You never had a Wii?
I never had a Wii. Nope.
Huh.
So I never Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. Those were foregone
Skyward
to
Sword
me.
looked so good when it came out. I didn't have a Wii either.
People just said it was just more Zelda, really. That's like there's not doing anything crazy. The Wii ones were fun, kind of, because you could swing.
You know what's
I mean, it was all right, but
You know what's a fun fact I learned about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom? Those two games are still using the Skyward Sword engine. The same engine that they used for
I
Skyward
can
Sword.
believe it.
I 1,000% believe it. I've been wondering, like, what engine
Well,
are they using in
I'm just shocked.
2023?
Something
I'm
old
shocked
that'll
that they
run
can
on
even-
Switch hardware.
It's impossible to me that they could even make
Well,
Breath of the
Eric,
Wild, let alone
old-
Tears of the
what-
Kingdom,
When
on
did that engine come out?
like 2011 or something.
Okay, when did the
2010.
Source engine come out?
A long time ago.
Right,
long ass time ago.
Some of these engines are just so.
I mean, sure, of
optimized
course
and-
they upgraded the engine, but like,
Oh, I know.
Nintendo has
Or-
been underpowered for years and
They don't
years. Like
give
their
a
engines,
fuck about that. Yeah.
it's just
'cause-
insane that they even were able to cobble this game together and it works and it runs on a mobile device essentially.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's cool. It is interesting, but that's Nintendo. Like that's just how they do it. I mean, in the end, everybody's happy with it. So. you know.
Brandon, did you beat Breath of the Wild? You didn't get all the way.
Fuck
through,
no.
right?
You didn't
No.
finish it yet. How far did you get?
No.
How many
I don't know.
how many divine beasts did you go through?
Just one. I looked at them. I only did the one, just experience it. The last thing I did was like hanging out with the water people,
Mhm.
and you're a super cheesy old girlfriend. Oh, Link, don't forget about me. I was like, "Pfft, she's a snooze. No wonder
Mipha.
I don't like talk about. Yeah,
Grace.
yeah. she was lame. I did that, and then I don't know. I did like the divine beast. It's like a giant elephant, which I totally had to use YouTube. I tried my best, but I was like, man, I can't figure this out. I don't know. I just really just walked around, explored that game, and I mean, spoiler. I think Tears of the Kingdom is a great game, and I think it is everything that I think Breath of the Wild should have been. I don't see. I think people
can
really
get into
like that Breath of the Wild game, but I just.
Well,
I
it's
didn't
a
get it.
Breath of the
This
Wild
I get.
1.5.
This I-
This is an iteration of the next one, but
I think this has so much more going on though.
I know,
Everything
for
about
sure.
this game is
Absolutely.
like delightful. I thought the other one was like a slog to play through, and maybe I just don't get it. But
I
this
mean-
game, Tears of the Kingdom, I think is like night and day better.
For me, Breath of the Wild, again, I mean it's up there easily as one of my favorite games of all time.
Right.
And
Yeah. You just,
I finished it, and I went back recently and to get into the mood for Tears of the Kingdom. I finished the Champions Ballad DLC. Finally got that motorcycle. Was tooling around Hyrule on that for a little
That's
bit.
got to be sweet.
But like, yeah, just the simplicity of Breath of the Wild is what drew me in. Like the world
True.
is so vast. Like you can go anywhere and do anything. You see something in the distance, you go to it. You can do most things.
The shrines were really
The
good in Breath of the Wild, and that's what I didn't pay attention to enough. I think my first few runs, I just tried to fight everything, but I'm like, fuck that.
That's
I'm gonna
not-
do
yeah,
shrines.
that's-
I'm like, it's way more fun.
Right. Yeah, and you can't really
And
play
you
the
get
game
gear.
like that. And it makes more sense to fight things in Tears of the Kingdom than it did in Breath of the Wild, because you actually get something out of it and you can utilize the stuff that you get from it.
Kinda. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird because like the powers, like you can see the evolution of them from the first one to the next one. Like there's so much that is the same that it's kind of like we talk about the stuff that's different. Like the UI is pretty much spot on. Like the graphics,
It's better
pretty
though.
much spot on. Like they do have a couple of different wheels, but even like the interaction wheels and fusing things to your weapons and stuff
Yeah.
is still kind of clunky.
What?
The
I don't know.
You're nuts.
I'm a
I
stickler.
need
I
I
think
need a radial wheel. I press up to look at my items, and that list is like 80
Oh.
things long.
Oh, the
Like,
item
you need
thing.
you need a better wheel. You need a better
Sure.
way
Yeah.
to navigate.
but
this.
not the powers. The powers I think are very, very
The
smooth.
powers are. I mean, you take the
fusing shit
magnet
is
from
so easy.
the magnet from Breath of the Wild is basically Ultra Hand on everything, and then they just.
Which is
They
such a smart evolution of
Yeah.
that. And
But you can see like where all the because all the trick videos from Breath of the Wild, you see people like abusing the system and making it do all this like weird fucking crazy things where you launch yourself across the fucking map or whatever. They're like, all right, we'll just give you the fucking tools to actually do it, and
That's
then
what they
you guys
said.
can just fucking knock yourselves out.
the developers 100%
People are
leaned
going-
into all that stuff, like purposefully.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to give people the tools to just play around in this world. It really is just like a sandbox.
The fusing, the fusing is like I don't know. That's fixing Brandon's weapon durability issue from the first game. So everybody that was complaining,
Right.
bitching about that, like, all right, well, we'll give you. It doesn't fix it completely, but it makes it
didn't-
easier to deal with.
I don't think it needed to be fixed in the first place. But
Oh, it did. It's a massive buzzkill. This game.
I don't agree with that,
Even
but
how it's annoying.
we don't
but-
have to get into that. But yeah, I think.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I think that as far as the weapon durability goes, from my point of view, if the weapons never broke, you find one, and then you would have no reason to go out and search and explore the world. Because what are you going to
That's
find?
very true.
What do you like? If you're not going to find a weapon out there, what are you going to find? Maybe some
Yeah.
new armor, maybe some, I don't know, some
now-
weird treasure that you don't know what to do with. But
Yeah, but you know what though? I would say Tears of the Kingdom it just feels like they put more weapons out, more variety out for me to find. So therefore, I don't feel bad plowing through
the variety comes from the
monsters.
fusability, though, because you
Well,
can
that-
take you can
true,
take a stick,
true.
you can take a stick and fucking fuse anything you want to it, and then it becomes a completely different thing.
All right, yeah. So
Which
all right,
does help.
this is this is the real spoiler warning here. Like we're gonna get into probably the powers here because I think we should go through this stuff.
Yeah.
This is the big thing. So if you want to go in fresh, stop listening now. Go play it. Come back. Because let's get into I think the big draw of this game. I think is the puzzle mechanics. I've always like when I was playing Breath of the Wild this last time. I was doing the shrines. I was like, I can't wait to go do the next shrine
Mhm.
and do the next shrine. And because I was doing like the tower beacons, I was trying to do that. And like, this isn't fun. And I don't like fighting in this game. And when I started doing the puzzles, I was like, oh my God, I've been looking at Zelda wrong or Breath of the Wild wrong. It's like a open world puzzle light RPG. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking it's just like an RPG. But I'm like, it's not really an RPG because it's like very specific character. And like the world's open, but like that's it. But like once I understood the power of the puzzles, and then this game, I think it's just with these new mechanics, I feel like the puzzles are everywhere now. Like the whole game, just like this massive sky, ground, and
I mean, that's how the first one
caverns,
was,
like,
but maybe you just weren't
chasm thing.
looking for it or interacting with it. But like,
well,
Okay.
well, I think what Brandon's saying is like the puzzles from being instead of in just being in the shrines. Now they're in the now you just have like random.
That was
pit
the same
stops of
thing
just like
in Breath of the
building
Wild.
Oh, were
materials
they?
and shit.
Oh, maybe I was just dumb. I just couldn't put anything together. But
I
like,
mean,
this
they're
game,
different
I'm constantly looking at
in
like
this game.
I want to see if I can climb. Like I was in this cave, breaking all these. I took a stick, put a rock on. Or I'm sorry, claymore. Put a boulder on it. I'm breaking through all these rocks, right? And I'm going through this cave and shit. And then I see there's a tower that I want to get to be shot out in the sky and all that shit and survey the land.
Mhm.
The door was locked from the inside and you couldn't get in. This rooster guy was like, "Go get some mushrooms." Like, I ain't doing that.
That's where I'm stuck.
You can. There's
The
an
mushrooms
exposure.
is it's he's misleading you.
I was looking
There's
for the
no
fucking
mushrooms.
cave, and I couldn't find the goddamn cave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even bother. So if you go underneath and go kill everything in there and loot it, if you keep breaking, you'll eventually expose a rock in the ceiling of the cave, and you can teleport, do the thing where you swim through like
Yeah, Ascend is like
anything-
a game changer.
Ascend. Yeah. So that's what I'm
Fix
saying.
it.
Like that's where the game is like making me think about like, oh my god, like the whole thing. I can do anything with these powers. Like I can create anything. Where I didn't get that sense in Breath of the Wild, but this is like give me like Portal vibes.
They give you
like,
so much more
I feel
freedom.
so
Yeah.
intelligent when I figure out one of these puzzles.
I feel like such a dumbass because I jumped down a well and I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of here? There's no ladders. I'm doing like
I
my
just
third lap
teleport.
around the room and I'm like, wait a minute,
Did
I
the
got
same
fucking
thing.
Ascend. I just teleport out of this goddamn thing.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I
I
think
forget that I have some of these powers because
yeah.
it takes like Breath of the Wild's here, and then it takes the world and kind of stretches it out in both ways to kind of like people ask like, is it the same map? And yeah, it is kind of the fucking same map. There's some stuff that's different, but
it's not though.
Like-
Like I'm traveling around Hyrule, and it's been
Like-
so long since I've been in these areas. I don't recognize where
No.
where I've been exploring, or
Or,
it might as well be
villages
a
are
completely.
destroyed
It might as well be a new map to me.
I recognize some areas, and I think it's really cool that it's
everywhere
changed.
you go.
And they do, changes. I don't know if you guys went to Kakariko Village at all,
Yeah.
but you have the
I didn't get to it yet.
those huge like rings have fallen down from the sky, and
Mhm.
you have to like go and explore each one of them and find like the stone tablets, and they kind of give you clues to what's gonna happen later in the story, and like
Okay.
these allusions to like these stones and everything. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool how they change the world, even though it like Hyrule itself is the same, but they change it in interesting ways.
Well, how do we feel about this game? Like,
I mean,
what do you guys like
I'm-
it? Like the other one better? Like how?
I think, I mean, just by you can hear the enthusiasm in my voice, but it's all I want to play right now. Like, I think they took Breath of the Wild and made it better in every single possible way that they could think
Yeah.
of. You know,
I
So-
agree.
I think
I mean, it's Breath of the Wild was so many people's games of the year. Like, it'd be kind of dumb of them, like because they had all the puzzle pieces and they just like shuffled it up and remade it. Like, I wrote down that if like Breath of the Wild was like chess, and then you take that same game and it's like, have you ever seen Star Trek where they have like that crazy fucking 3D chess where it's like
Oh,
three
yeah.
different levels or
I
whatever?
only know it from
like,
like
they
Big
took-
Bang Theory.
No, yeah.
3D
they took
chess.
regular chess and they turned it into fucking 3D chess where they took that same world and they just take the same game engine and just kind of like
Dude, I will.
gave you new shit to play with and like reshuffled the deck and said, here, fucking go knock yourselves out.
You know how like I absolutely loved exploring the world in Breath of the Wild. I think one of the best. I think first of all, this game is like the best designed open world in any video game, hands down. Like for
Does
me,
get
anyways.
like it does get.
Listen, let me make
like
my
empty.
point.
I get a lot
Don't
of
cut me
yeah,
off.
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
let me let me say my points
saying
here.
shit. I'm just I ain't talking.
So you look out on the landscape. You can any direction you look. There's so many things
the
to
wonders.
do. There's shrines.
The wonders.
There's
right.
towers. There's little areas that you can go explore. They had that same thing
Yep.
in Breath of the Wild, right? You look out on the horizon.
Yeah.
But now they fucking, like we said, they give you the sky. You look up. There's something to do up there. You look down underground. There's something to do down
It's
there.
3D chess, right?
Like
Yeah.
it's insane the amount of options you have. And I normally in like an open world game, I sort of feel overwhelmed with the amount of things that I have to do. But for this,
I feel
for some
overwhelmed
reason,
in this game.
I don't feel overwhelmed in this game.
I do.
I definitely do.
I let the wind take me where it wants to go. Like I see a shrine over there. All right, I'm going to that shrine. If something happens to distract me along the way, okay, I'll just go with it.
I'm doing the same. Yeah.
I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna go to the like. I have barely interacted with any of the main missions,
Same.
like missions up to this point. I'm just kind of, haven't really left that central area that they drop you down in. I think I've unlocked like 4 towers around there so far.
Towers and shrines, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I've done,
all
like,
I've been
3
doing.
Towers and shrines.
Tower shrines,
Yeah.
sky islands, and then depths. Like I've been like just kind of going up and down, exploring
One
different
thing,
things.
I don't remember if this was the same in Breath of the Wild because I don't know, it might have been stoned back then, but like did they unlock game mechanics via shrines in Breath of the Wild?
Not
Because that's one thing that I noticed that like
not game mechanics necessarily, but like they showed you how to do certain things.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this one
Which
like
is kinda
there's
the same as
specific
this.
stuff you can't do until you go to a certain shrine. Like
Not necessarily.
you can't do, Link couldn't do like the backflip and he couldn't do some other stuff.
You can.
until you found
No,
the
you
shrine.
can. They just don't teach you how to do it.
I was trying it multiple times until I found that shrine, then it let me do it. And then the shield surfing and all that
Whatever.
stuff.
There was
You
one I
can
was like, if I
definitely
had to-
do it because I especially like the shield surfing. Because if you're going into this game, you know the mechanics of Breath of the Wild. Unless you're talking about when you're in that like tutorial area.
That might
Definitely
have been.
Definitely when you get down to Hyrule, you can do everything that you normally do. But
That's why I mean I would just say if you're playing it, staying with the shrines and the towers is actually good because I think
Yeah.
like those beginning shrines actually teach you a lot of the core mechanics that you need.
especially
other
with
stuff.
the Zonai devices, like
Mhm.
they introduce you to how to use those, and you know, kind of because they do it's so smart the way that they do it. Because yeah, the immediate area that you land in your immediate vicinity, you can see like 5 different shrines around you. You know, right when you get to Hyrule, so you take your little periscope out and you pin them, you mark them on your little map. And then you go to each one of those shrines, and yeah, it teaches you a different mechanic in each one of those, and it introduces you to the Zonai devices and how you're supposed to use them. And then outside of those shrines, they'll plant like the same Zonai devices that you just learned how to use inside the shrine and make you do a little puzzle outside the shrine. Like there was one where I learned to use like that Zonai spring device. I don't know if you guys have encountered that
I
one
have.
yet.
Oh, I have all of them. I just
But there was
haven't used it
a
yet.
outside that shrine, there was like a chest inside of, you know, like this tower. You couldn't climb over it, you couldn't get into it. But you
I
could
climbed
use
into it.
You just climbed into it?
I climbed into it and then I bounced out.
So what I did, which I think is maybe what they meant to do, is take Ultra Hand, they put a spring in there, and I put the chest on the spring, and then it bounced the chest out of the hole.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, so like
See, I did it boring. Yours is way cooler.
But that's the cool thing about this game is that you can solve these puzzles in like so many different ways. You might do it one way, I might do it another way. Like
yeah,
and it
some of
works. It works
some of
both
the
ways.
Stupid shit that I build to get one Korok dude from the next.
Yeah.
Like, I have fucked up so many times. I put fans on this thing and it starts spinning around in circles, and the dude just smashes into a wall. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll build another machine and try to fucking figure that out. But the
I've done the
physics,
same thing.
the physics in this game.
Sometimes
what makes it fun.
I'm using YouTube. If I can't wrap my head around it, I'll go to YouTube and I'll say, okay, that's how they did it. And like one of them, there's a sky island. I'm up there, and it's like I can't even get into the shrine until I go over to the other island, Sky Island, and bring it back. Or it's like beaming a green laser at it, and I had to bring it over.
Yeah, I just
I'm
did
like,
that
"All right."
one. Yep.
I did that last night, and I'm like, there's a big kind of U-shaped kind of thing that it's like a bridge.
Yeah.
So I figured that out on my own, and I'm like, man, how do I I don't know. I gotta like I want to get inside this thing and see what's in here. This is different. Like, and then I had to put together a shrine before. So I go on YouTube. I watch the guy's video. I'm like, what? I'm not doing that. So he like I don't know. He had like all these hearts and he had like these like characters that were running around him. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, guy, but yeah, it's crazy. You get
What?
like these like pets or something
mean,
like that.
Stay
later on.
off of YouTube.
Yeah, stop spoiling
goddammit.
shit.
But anyway, so he was like doing this. I'm like, that's way too hard. So I just I'm gonna do this. And what I ended up doing was the recall ability. And like all I did is just like I positioned it to here, so I knew I could run across, grab it, and then like time it so that it would spin around so I can get across of it. So just using that recall ability to me is just like all to say is that like
you thought
if
way
you go
too
on
hard
YouTube,
about
there's
that
the-
one.
Well,
I did
how
it
else would you
maybe
done it?
maybe I did it in a dumb simple way. For that one, all I did was I went around the left side. I rotated it so I could get around the left side.
Yeah,
Got the gem.
yeah.
Put it on the rotating platform. Then went all the way back around and then just spun it. And then I walked on the platform, grabbed it, and put it on the shrine.
Oh, okay. I went to the
Sounds
left
much easier.
island and I couldn't. I don't know. All I had to do was
I
time
don't know
it though.
this one.
Yeah, but all to say though is just that like sometimes you're gonna get like you're like not gonna be able to figure it out. You're gonna go on YouTube, and even those people
Nope.
are doing things that you probably wouldn't do anyway. So it's like
Completely
just to say
differently.
that
Yeah.
go just
Oh, I don't
figure it
wanna
out.
see it.
There's no. I feel like there's like 1,000 ways to skin a cat in this game, and that's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
cool. Because like sometimes I'm like, I've beat one shrine. It's like there's like 3 layers, and I was able to like beat the second layer with the first layer because like I concocted this machine that let me just keep going up, and I'm like, I don't even have to do that part, and I'm already at the top layer, and I built something new. But I did so well with my mechanics with what I solved. I was like, oh, I didn't even have to do half the puzzle because
Yeah. You can just
I did it.
like the
It's
way that
great.
the way that they intend you to do some shrines, you can completely like skip over some of that stuff. Like I know in one point in one of the shrines I did yesterday, they introduced like the big Zonai wheels, and I'm pretty sure they wanted me to like build some sort of platform that would push like the ball up the ramp or whatever. But all I did was like carry it with Ultra Hand, climb up the ladder, and then hit recall on it and brought it up to me.
That's what I'm saying. Recall is so cool because what I like
Crazy.
about it is like you can put yourself on the damn thing and then turn on recall and
Mhm.
it'll lift
Yeah.
you up. I
Yeah.
was like,
The fact that
dude.
it's tracking all the objects in the world too.
That's just
that,
so
like
cool.
From a
every
development
movement of every
perspective,
object-
that's insane
yeah,
to me. I can't
is
even
baffling.
fathom that. Yeah. Like
Yeah. Well,
on
racing games do that, right? Everything's being recorded so you could go back.
but this is
Yeah.
on the fucking Nintendo Switch, which was underpowered when it came out. They built 3 open worlds, or like an open world, a sky area, and then another open world underneath it.
Yeah.
Seamless fucking transition between
You
above
know how they
and
were able
below.
to pull it off?
Like it's
I'll tell you why.
I don't know.
Because they
How.
spent no money on voice actors and scripts.
No.
They took
Okay.
all those resources allocated to
they
development. Say,
never
you know
did.
what?
Listen,
I had this
I'd
idea,
rather
let's
have
do
that. I'd
They
rather
never
have
do.
that
Oh, I'm with you.
100% than voice
'Cause
acting.
As
Yeah.
much as
you
it
heard
drives me
Link
crazy
talk-
that like no one talks, but like when they do talk, it's fucking the worst acting I've ever heard. I'm like, you know what? I'm glad they don't
should
do
switch
that.
it over to the Jap. I heard that the Japanese is actually.
I'm
better.
sure it is.
I
that.
probably should. Oh, it's
I mean, everyone,
I can't
even
listen
from
to
Breath
it.
of the Wild, everyone was hating on like Zelda's voice, and like the way
all
way
of
she
them,
talked.
all of them sound horrible, and it
It sounds
is what it
the
is.
way
sounds
that they,
cheesy. It's whatever.
So can I bring up the one thing that I don't know? Or maybe it's not. Eric, you probably don't give a shit. But my wife was walking by and she's like looking at me play this game. She's like, "What is this? Like, how old is this game? That does not look good." And I'm like, "This game just came out 2 weeks ago." She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." People are calling this like possibly one of the greatest games ever made. She's like,
Don't judge
"Why
a
does
book
it
by
look
its
like
cover.
that?" And
Do
I'm
you know
like,
what it looks
I
like?
go, I think it's the art direction, but like I personally think they took a step back from Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild is very simple. This is like the colors
Dude,
are just.
think about how much
ugly.
shit
They're
they're
just
doing
They're
in this
very
game.
muted. Like,
Eric,
no,
I
I'm
get
even
it,
like
I get it, I get it.
turn up
I'm
the
just saying, it's
saturation
not
on
attractive.
everything.
I'm not saying
It's just
I'm not
like-
saying it
It's
is,
not colorful.
but it doesn't detract from my experience at all.
I was walking
No,
through
no,
a
I
field
can
as
still
Link.
play old games. It looks like an old game.
I felt like
looks
I
like
was
an old
playing
game.
Valheim. when I was playing it. Like it's
Valheim looked better than this.
Probably.
Although I
I
will
don't know
say
about
though,
Valheim's
character-
smoother. Valheim is a better refresh rate,
yeah, oh yeah,
frame rate for sure. Because this one, I guess it chugs.
I mean, it definitely
Newer
noticeable when you do the ultra hand. Like as soon as you hit the ultra hand, it gives you a little chug, and then it clears up. But I agree. I mean, yeah, it's old hardware. It's underpowered hardware when it came out. So just the fact that they could pull off this game on this hardware is just insane to me.
Just imagine if they had
Right.
like a good draw distance on things. They didn't have to use that dumb periscope to zoom in on everything when you could actually like see it in the distance.
But they're
if
smart
it was
because
on Unreal Engine, like Unreal 5
That would
on
be
this,
awesome.
but like the same art direction, like still make it like this cartoony almost look. Like I'd be fine with
Yeah.
it, but man, could you imagine? It would look. Then I would say it is one of the greatest single player games ever made, and I will say single player because I think single player and multiplayer are different.
Well, the
But-
puzzles in it, like I don't know, Nintendo and Zelda games in general are just like puzzle boxes. Like even the old games that followed the same dungeon mentality, like those were just puzzles built around the new object that you're getting to unlock in that
Yeah.
area. Now they just give you the powers and they let you
But
just go run wild.
It's
but-
crazy because like this game, I can't not play this game and think of Ubisoft's
Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix.
Oh.
What was it?
something.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
Immortals Phoenix, right? Yeah, Rising, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey's DLC, the Atlantis DLC. It's like identical. It's like these floating islands with waterfalls, like green and stone, and like pillars here, and it's the art direction is crazy. Like I'm not knocking this game. It's a cool looking game. Yes, it's a marvel what it did with this engine, but like I'm like. It looks like other games, though. I don't know. That like it throws me off a little bit because I don't know. I don't know. I expected maybe more variety. I don't know. I gotta be careful what I'm saying because like what they're pulling off is incredible. But
Also,
I
you
just,
have
like,
to think
it-
we've barely scratched the surface of this game.
true,
Yes.
true. But like,
Like-
how do you not go down into the underworld and not think of fucking what was it BlackRock in Skyrim, right? When you discover, holy shit, there's a massive cave in Skyrim. There's a massive
Yeah, but it's not
cave
a
almost the size
full
of-
other open world.
Oh, whatever, dude.
Oh,
Like
I didn't think of that. I was thinking Stranger Things. As
It's-
soon
it's
as
a-
I got down there,
yeah,
I'm like, this is.
It's a complete
I'm in the
different
underworld.
map.
What do they call it? Upside down.
Yeah.
upside
Like you're
down.
in the
Yeah.
upside down when you're.
I
down
mean,
there.
Zelda has done this before with like the Dark World in Link to the Past. It's like the same concept, but they just
mhm.
blew it out into like a copy of the open world map. Like
Right.
that part is intimidating to me. I've explored the depths a little
What?
bit.
Oh,
The depths, because there's
Yeah.
so much down there. It's fucking
That's
pitch
what got
black.
the depths, yeah.
I went around. I was tooling around there for a while, just trying to get some of those seeds to light up the world.
Yeah, that's what I was
down
doing.
there a bit. But like,
What did you know that there's shrines above those?
yes, that's it.
That's the
It
shrine.
maps to the
I just
the
figured that out.
Hyrule. Yep.
Oh wow.
You know
Yeah.
another cool thing? I mean, I'm sure you guys have discovered these, but in some of the Sky Islands, they give you treasure maps to
Yeah, I got
treasures
man.
down in the depths.
I just noticed that when I first went to the depths
I've
today.
not
I was
gotten one
like
of those.
looking down and it goes,
Yeah.
by the way, you have a map that revealed an area. And I'm like, oh no shit. Huh. I want to go over there. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's so
yeah.
cool because like that you could discover something in the sky to send you to the depths. So
and
it's
there's a
good use
reason
of,
to go
like-
down there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it gives you a reason to go down there and explore.
Some of
Cool.
the first outfits, I think I got somebody gave me map markers for like outfits or whatever, and I went hunting for those for a little while. I'm still
Yeah, I
there
got
are a
those too,
couple.
yeah.
I don't want to spoil the outfits or whatever, but there are a couple that I've had spoiled on me that look pretty friggin' sweet. That
Well, I will
Seems like it'd
say
be
in
very
the
handy.
opening, there's actually, I think it's a pretty crucial pieces of equipment in the what's the opening area called?
Oh, the Great Sky. Is it the Great Sky Island or whatever?
All right.
Something like that.
Well, you can get some pants that help you with cold weather, so look around for them.
yeah,
Because-
that's right after like one of the shrines. They're right
Yeah, but
outside
it's
the
like
Mhm.
off the beat. You have to go kind of like move something to climb up something. But yeah, it's very rewarding because I did not like that. I mean, I get it. It's
Well,
kind of like more realistic that way. But like when you don't have them, it's a total buzzkill. It's like, oh, there's a shrine right there, and I'm like,
I'll
the
tell you
creeper
what you have
zone's
to
gonna kill
do.
me.
Take a stick, fuse a ruby to it. You have a torch, and now you're warm.
I know, but I want to use a ruby for
ruby
like
to
a
a
boss
torch?
fight or something like
A
that.
ruby, yeah. So each of the gems are elements if you fuse
Flammable.
them. So a ruby is fire, sapphire is ice, opal is lightning. So if you fuse those to a weapon, you'll get like a lightning rod
Okay.
or a
No,
fire
I
rod.
save my rubies. I sell those fuckers.
Ye-
Those are
Yeah,
like
sell 'em
they're
too.
worth a lot of money.
110 rupees a piece.
You can stick it to your shield, and then it'll warm you up. I think if you put it, I think you can put it on things, and I think you can put it on a shield because there's like a
That's
heat element to it.
cool.
Dude, some
it
of
won't-
the some of the Zonai devices when you fuse them are so fucking cool. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
have gotten the like the beam emitter Zonai device, but
No.
I have it, but I haven't used it.
you can fuse that and it's basically like a lightsaber. I mean, it doesn't really look like one. It's a fucking horse head that shoots out a beam, but it basically works like one. There's cannon. You can attach a cannon to your shield
A
and
cannon?
fucking yeah.
Oh,
it's-
I know that you can take a rocket and you can fuse a rocket to a shield because I pulled my shield out and it just shoots you.
it gives you a
straight
boost
up. In the
up.
sky.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, holy shit!
Rockets are probably the coolest thing. So
They
far,
are really
like,
cool.
that I found. Like just watching them just zing off into the distance or whatever. Like I don't have any of those yet from the Zonai Gachapon machine yet.
Yeah, and each machine they give you different devices too in it. I think
Do they?
it tells you on the map like which devices are possible to come from this
Oh, okay.
machine. So yeah, I've discovered a couple of those around the world and
I
gotten
need to find some
a
more
decent
machines.
variety. Yeah, like I found a couple. Like there's a couple in the sky. You know, a couple of the islands with the shrines had those like Zonai device machines. But yeah, and there's a lot to this game.
Are you guys playing with? Do you guys mess with the Pro UI at all when you play?
I had the Pro UI on for Breath of the Wild. I just kept the default for Tears of the Kingdom. For
Right.
just for I don't know why.
If
it on.
I'm trying
is
to
it?
find my way to something, it just removes pretty much like everything. Well, most things. I think if you're in combat, stuff might come up, but otherwise,
It pretty much
because
just has
they're-
your hearts in the corner, removes the mini map, removes like the button prompts and
removes
stuff.
the sneaking thing and the compass and the other thing that you don't need. There's a ton of garbage you don't need on the UI. That
Yeah.
I
I've
recommend.
never
going
thought
with-
about turning it off. I feel like I need
go
it.
with the go with the Pro, especially if you're
I'll try it.
if you're getting ripped or whatever and playing on a big screen, sitting nice and close. It helps you
Yeah.
gets you in there because
Gets you immersed.
You know, it
It's
sucks.
tough to
Like,
figure out what direction you're facing though. But if you're just wandering around, fucking around, then yeah.
you can't
Pro.
wear headphones while playing on your TV.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
if you
You
I
gotta
always
have
play-
it plugged into the Switch.
you use like a
mean?
third party controller or whatever, but
I use the Nintendo Switch, the Pro.
You guys both use
Controller.
Pros? What do you use? there?
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I
you
use the
can't
Pro
plug a head-
controller.
Oh,
you can't
man.
plug
jelly.
headphones into it.
Yeah, it doesn't have a headphone jack.
I'm just used to that with my Xbox. I can plug headphones and I can be like.
I go
nice sound.
50-50. Sometimes I'll, play in here on the big TV if I don't feel like it, I'll lay in bed with some headphones on. And play
No
handheld.
way. Really?
Yeah,
feel
I love
like
playing
if I play
handheld.
this game, I feel like this sounds bad because I do enjoy this game. I think it's a good game, but I fall asleep because it's just
I
like
have a couple times.
It's a very the music, yeah. It's peaceful. You're looking out at a landscape. You're just
yeah. It's just the sound of metal clanking as you run or
Yeah.
gallop on a horse or something. It's just like
It's pretty.
where you're sailing.
Can be
Sound
calming.
design
It makes
is
me
really
sleep.
good though.
So
Like,
I
it's
try.
so
I've
good.
tried playing in Switch mode. I'm just like, what? I can't. It's like reading a book in bed, dude.
Yeah,
I have to
I
play
can see
on my
that.
TV.
Yeah,
TV's good though. I mean, you got to play in something big too because I've had problems like seeing on such a small screen.
Well, man, your neck gets like all like stiff if you realize you've been
But-
staring at it for like half an hour because that's how long it takes to go to like a shrine.
These last couple of days when the wife's been back home, I've been sneaking off to the back room with the Switch and just no lights on, complete darkness, and just me and
like a hobbit in the corner. Fucking.
me and my precious sitting in the corner with the screen glowing on my face. It is
It's
pretty
good.
nice in there. Pretty nice when you're like in a nice dark room with just you in the game and
Yeah.
The sound design is good. Like the music that comes up when you
Yeah,
enter
because then you
certain
can put your headphones
areas,
into it.
or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a good idea though, but I should. But no, I've been playing on the Wii-Con controllers that snap into like the holster thing, and that is just the most uncomfortable little thing to play with.
You've been playing with the Joy-Cons with the Bulldog controller?
Is that what it
Dave.
is? The Bulldog
Yeah,
controller?
because when you attach
I
them
went to
with the
GameStop. They
little
were sold
holder.
out.
It's just order it online. Best Buy or something like that. Just order
Oh,
it. Dude.
damn! I feel
it's
bad
what-
that you've been playing with the fucking little Joy-Cons.
Like
I
feel
cannot
like,
play with
I feel like
Nintendo controllers.
Shrek playing
This
with
is-
like a little
Dude.
toy.
Pro controller is great.
It's legit. It has I like the vibrations in it. It's really responsive, like when you're doing like the tracking and stuff like that.
Like the buttons feel
Oh, I gotta
good.
use this silly
It feels like a
fucking
3D.
controls.
It feels like an Xbox controller. It really does.
And like the buttons are a little oversized, which I kind of like. You know, like there's more surface area to the buttons, and like the
Yeah.
screenshot. You know, like
Great.
I'm
It's like
constantly taking screenshots and videos, especially.
I was gonna
this
try
game.
and wire up the. I got a Elite 2 controller that I have lying around, but you need like a $20 Bluetooth dongle for the Switch, and you
So
can
just
use
spend an
your-
extra $30 and get yourself the thing.
Dude,
that
get
was
a
made
Pro
for the
Those things
controller.
are $70.
They're $70.
$70. and
that's
the
the
Wii
same
Cons
with-
are
Fine on
80.
sale. I
It's the
think
same
that's
with the
it.
Xbox and PlayStation controller.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it's Switch.
What?
Nintendo
It's a
usually
what?
does good
I think
controller
if
I'm
you're
never
gonna,
use,
I
but
know.
I will, especially
Yeah.
if it's on the big screen.
if you have it, you will definitely use it.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk a little bit. We're like 40 minutes into this conversation. Do you guys, I guess, like any tips or like any, like I enjoy like this kind of non-spoilery tips. If you have anything, because I do have a couple ones that I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fire 'em away. Let's hear 'em.
Yeah.
I
go.
mean, like the one thing that I didn't really realize until it was kind of like a dawned on me, but when the bricks fall out of the sky, you just hop on them and then rewind them back.
Oh,
up
yeah,
to
of
the
course.
sky.
Oh, that was the first thing I did when I had the recall building. I walked down like, oh, you know
Yep,
what
that's
I
how I
can
get up to
do?
the Sky
Because
Islands.
those things are constantly falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pro UI I thought was a nice touch for more immersion into the game because everything kind of has it. Everything has an on-screen thing. If you walk, you don't need the heat thermometer thing. If you walk into a cold place, you see Link start shivering, and you can see his breath. If you
Mhm.
know all that kind of stuff. So I think that's nice. You guys got anything?
Fun thing to do is to just take a long stick or spear, fuse an explosive
Another-
barrel onto the end, and then just throw it into
Okay.
a group of
Throw
moblins.
like a spear.
Another
All right, I
really,
like that.
really good fusion. So you can only get these in the depths, I think, but it's the Muddle Bud flowers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just discovered those.
I've got some of those. I haven't really messed with them.
Are those ones that
Attach-
smell or something like that?
So,
They're really bitter to
Attach
taste?
them to an arrow and
Mhm.
shoot it at like a group of moblins. They'll all start attacking each other.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
It's really
Okay.
useful if you're trying to take out like a goblin or a bokoblin camp. So shoot it at like one of the big, either the moblins or like one of those big fat boss
Mhm.
bokoblins, and they'll just take out the smaller guys. And then yeah,
Okay.
the puff shrooms are good too because you attach it to an arrow, shoot it, creates like a cloud of smoke. So you can just go in there and start wailing on all the bokoblins. They can't see you, they can't hit you. You can transform, the little choo-choos that attack you, the little blue blob guys.
Yes.
If you pick up their choo-choo jellies, you can, well, you don't even have to pick them up. If they're on the ground, you can basically take any elemental thing, like say you have a fire rod, you shoot the fire at the choo-choo jellies, it turns into fire choo-choo jelly now. And then you can attach
Oh, no
those
shit.
to your arrows, and they're fire arrows.
Yeah, I always use the other one. I forget what are they. The fire berries or whatever.
Oh yeah, those
I have tons of those.
Yep, fire berries. Bomb. I love doing
The
bomb arrows.
ones. That's like my go-to for dealing with a group of people is bomb
Yep,
arrows. I
bomb
fuck people
arrows
up.
for sure. Yeah,
That kind of like that helps like the emergent gameplay kind of like shake out of things, just like the random dumb stuff you can do, or like after I get done slaughtering a camp, I just like walk around looking at the ground and I look at my weapons and I'm like, all right, what's about to break? What can I add here? What can I
Yeah.
tweak here?
That's level 12, but it is flashing red. That's level 8, but I could fuse a rock to. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically what my
Okay.
my process
It's so
is.
cool because they the only arrows in this game are just the base arrow, and they took out because in Breath of the Wild they had the shock arrows, the fire arrows.
I
the
think
bomb
Eric,
arrows.
again, these are like
I
the
like
little things that
That is
I
way
like.
better.
Yeah,
I like it because you guys know I don't like crafting, but like this is so light on crafting. It's like arrow. Okay.
right. Attach
Fucking
this
do
to
that.
this.
Do it.
Yeah,
Like that's it. I don't have to like manage like different fucking arrow types.
exactly.
I love that.
That's so smart because you just sort by. I mean, Dave's right when he says like there is a ton of items to sort through when you're looking for something to fuse to like your arrow or whatever. But like you can sort by your most used items, pop up the little menu, get a bomb right away and just fuse it and shoot it.
You can drop things easier too. Like
Yeah.
I really think that there's like
There's
quality
lots
of life things
a lot
all
of quality
over the
of
UI. Like
life
Dave's saying that the
improvements.
UI is similar, but I think going back from the old one to the new
Like
one, I just think everything's streamlined, dude. Honestly, like I can navigate my inventory with just one layer instead of like on Breath of the Wild there's like 2 layers. Like if you go to inventory, then it's like food, like everything's just like one panel, and I can just quickly get in and get out. I personally think they've made that stuff better.
Link running around the world UI is exactly the same. Like some of the pause menu stuff is a little different, but I don't know. I wish I had some radial menus or something like that for the items.
I just don't know how they would do
swap
that
between
since
them.
there's so many items that you can fuse to like your arrows. Like pretty much everything in your inventory
Well,
I mean,
you can
it's
use.
all-
Hold on a
like-
second, Dave. The powers in Breath of the Wild, you had to push up on your directional pad and then cycle through them. Now
It is a radio menu.
left.
Or radio wheel.
It's
yeah,
L
it's
bump
true.
at left bumper. So I think
That's
you're
fine.
good.
I was talking more
It's just
items,
your weapons.
items
Yeah.
and fusing and stuff like that. Having to drop like if I have my sword out, I should just be able to press up and just fuse it right to my sword rather than throw it on the ground and then turn on.
It's
the
really
fuse.
doing
But
a
that
lot,
then do you want it
Yeah.
fused to your sword or your shield? So it gets like
Yeah.
I can see why they did that.
It does, yeah. There's a lot of
There's a lot of
There's a lot of
mechanics
nuance to it.
in this game.
There's a lot going
Like
on. For
I'm
sure.
still I played so much of Breath of the Wild before this game to get ready for it that like some of the controls are different, so I'm constantly hitting like the wrong button sometimes, especially to bring up the menu for the powers or to like switch to do the fusing stuff. I'm like, so it confuses me a little bit.
I'm always hitting RB to I don't know why, but I'm always like
Yes,
getting
I
ready
am
to turn
too.
my weapon when I want to do my power. I'm like
Yes, I do
powers
the
are LD.
same exact thing.
I don't know why.
I do the
I'm
same
allowed
thing.
to switch my jump and my run or whatever, but I'm not allowed to switch anything else. I'm like weird.
Did you guys switch your jump and run?
I did. I
No,
need
I
to
didn't.
run with Y and jump with A.
Okay. I
Nah,
did, but
I
then my
left it
kid didn't,
default.
and I was helping him, and it was confusing my brain to have one way and one the other, so I switched mine back. But
That's
No,
fine.
it's weird when you press A to run, and then you press A to get on your horse, but then you press B to run on your horse, and I always end up jumping off my horse when I need
Yeah.
to run.
It's
like-
the controls can be clunky. Like it's just doing so much.
yeah,
it's
they're-
really doing so much.
It's like how could they fit all this on a fucking controller? It's so a lot of
so
stuff.
Going back to tips, though, I do have them because I already kind of talked about this where I was telling Dave how to get into that tower. But if you see a cave, I think they're pretty rewarding, and especially if it's one that's like blocked off with like rocks.
Oh yeah,
What I've learned is like if you're low on weapons, right? They always give you something. There's always a weapon around and a rock to fuse it to break through that cave. Once you go in there, you will find claymores and like all these different kind of soldier like weaponry like on the ground in those rocks. So just break them away. Go ahead. Like I know when you use them, you're destroying the weapon that you currently have, but you should, after clearing that out, you should get enough weapons on the ground that you could replenish. And they give you boulders that you can fuse to those swords, those claymores or whatever, and they'll even be even stronger and probably take out anything that's in that cave. So I just
always
see that
have
as
a
good
rock hammer.
resource.
I always have a rock hammer on me in
Oh,
case
you're
I
good.
need to break some
A good
rocks.
thick stick with a rock. I don't like
Thick
just any
stick.
regular stick with a rock. It's got to be a thick stick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use arrows to break through that'd be kind of cool.
You can
but-
use
What
bombs,
flowers
bomb
use.
arrows,
That's what I
yeah.
usually do.
Oh,
But I don't
like
want to
wasting
waste.
my bomb
No, I don't want to
flowers,
waste the
I know.
bombs. They're
Those
pretty
are-
rare.
Yeah.
My-
no.
My precious.
I know there's a lot of bombs in like they're more in the depths because they grow in caves on the surface, but then in the depths they're
Yeah.
definitely more plentiful with the bombs. But yeah, definitely always
Bombs you need-
have a rock hammer with you. You're breaking a lot more rocks in this game for some reason than
I'm
in
shooting
Breath
a
of the
lot
Wild.
Satisfying,
arrows,
though.
too.
It is satisfying. Yeah, I'm shooting tons of arrows.
Especially
That's my main
down-
go-to weapon, you know.
down in the depths. Like I go through arrows because I'm attaching the bulb flowers to them, shooting them, and using them as light sources to track
Yeah,
Yeah.
as I'm
yep,
going rather
the
than throwing them
seeds.
down.
Yep, those are good.
But then I'm
I
out
found-
of arrows in like 10 minutes. It's driving me nuts.
I found some kind of fish in a cave that were glowing blue, so I collected them.
Uh-huh.
And then it said that if you cook these, you can make a recipe that will make you glow. I haven't done it yet, but like, is that
There's
saying
glow
that if I eat that, I can glow
It's
through the
another
dark?
status effect.
glow potions now. Yeah, for the depths essentially. So you can make yourself
Neat.
glow. I actually found some
The
armor.
upside down.
I found some armor in the depths in the upside down. That has like little glowing bulbs all over it, so I get like a radius of glow around me.
Where
That's
where
pretty
did you
sweet.
find it? Like, did you have to like just found it on the ground, or did you have to like?
It was just in this like I don't know this little area. It was like an underground like abandoned forge looking thing, and there was a
Okay.
couple little things in there. And yeah,
Oh.
that armor was one of
Sweet.
the things I found. Cool. Wait.
How do you think you're going to be playing this game? Just because you know Breath of the Wild, like how do you think you're going to be playing this game for a while? Because I do think that we'll have to revisit this game. It might not be a main episode for the show, but we might do a hey, we spent some time and really got deep in there. Let's
I'm
talk
sure
about
we'll catch up with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be taking my time with this game. I'm not in any
Yeah.
rush to like get through the story or anything. Like I said, I've
I
played.
think a lot of people are doing that.
You can see how much you've played on your Switch, and I've played. It says 15 hours or more for me, but I think I'm close to like the 20-hour mark.
Okay.
So I'm, and like I said, I'm stayed in that central area. Yeah, I've gone up, I've gone to the sky and below as well, but like there's so much to do just in one little area. I'm trying to get all the shrines. I'm trying to, any close towers that I see, I go to. Anything that distracts me, I just go with it.
You get a real smack in the face if you wander around too far too, because like I found like the black or gray bokoblins or whatever, like they just
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Black
I have like
Mountains.
six hearts and it's just like instant kill. Just
I thought
instant
he
death.
was like a good guy or something because he didn't look like the other ones. I'm like, oh, he must be different. Hey, what's up? Like, is this a village or something like that? And he
Nah.
turned around, like,
Just
oh fuck.
Dude.
whap, and you're dead.
That is one thing I noticed with this game is that even like the shitty bokoblins are much more difficult. Like every enemy is dangerous in this game. Like,
Yeah, you get
They'll
fucked up real
one shot
quick.
you or two shot you and you're done.
How do you get hearts in these games? I really need to focus on
Shrines.
that too.
You do shrines, you get the blessings, and then
shrines.
you pray at one of the statues in like a
Yep.
town or whatever.
Okay,
Same thing
I've
as
done
Breath
like
of the Wild.
20 shrines, I swear.
So yeah,
So,
you have
I
a
probably-
build
Go
up.
to
of-
Kakarot Village or whatever.
Yeah, go to Kakariko.
And then
There's a
Okay.
there's a shrine in there.
little statue.
I found a trial of combat kind of shrine last night, and I only had 4 hearts. So it takes away everything you have, and it gives you like a couple weapons. It
I
says
did
you're
that
naked.
one too. That's
It
good.
says go ahead, do it, and I'm like, I try. It's like everybody's like on like device thing floating around. I was like, this looks really hard, and I tried, and I got my ass kicked because they're constantly shooting at you. I'm like, well, if I had more hearts, I might do better in this one.
Those are my least
So I think-
favorite shrines, is the combat trials. I'm like,
Yeah, but I feel like
some
they're
of
gonna give
them
you weapons and armor in those ones, right?
They're teaching you stuff in those too. The one
Yeah,
was
but-
teaching me how to throw items at things. The other one was teaching me how to attach things to my bow. Like it was like the shrines are kind of necessary to learn how the world works around you.
I already know all that stuff. I don't need it.
It's not the same.
No.
Does the game tell you how many hours you've played in it?
If you go to your profile on the Switch, like not in the game itself, if you go to like
Yeah.
your little icon up on the top left of your Switch home screen and you click into it, it'll show your like profile page and list out all your games and how long you've played. So it'll probably say like, for mine it says 15 hours or more, so it's like 5-hour intervals. So once I get to 20 hours, past 20 hours, it'll say 20 hours or more. Which why not just
Yeah.
list out the
What's
exact
the
amount of
fucking
hours?
problem here?
Yeah.
Just doesn't even have to be. You don't even have to include minutes. Just say this many hours. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's not
Oh.
that tough.
Well, mine says Breath of the Wild. I've done 35 hours or more.
What do you got for Tears? Tears of the Kingdom probably doesn't say it because you
It just
haven't.
says first played 7 days ago.
So after 10 days, it shows you. After the first time you've played, 10 days after the first time you've
Yeah.
played it, it'll
Oh,
show
that's
you
weird.
your
Oh.
play
So
time,
dumb.
which is
Give these
also-
people air.
I don't know why it does that, but whatever.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah.
it's
I like it.
it's great. I mean, I just booted up as we were
There's-
recording, and I'm looking at it. I just see like the world, and I just want to like.
There's so many things
Explore
to
it.
do.
And it hides
But
its
it
flaws
feels
very well.
alive.
This is
What's that,
the
Dave?
I don't know, alive. Like Skyrim feels more alive than like Zelda. Like Zelda,
yeah,
it's
dude.
like everybody just walks their path and they have their like non-speaking text
I
that
s-
they show at the bottom, and then they go on your.
Well, I say
your
alive
quest and go on your
because
way.
I see constant movement. Like I see
Yeah.
big ass floating cities and buildings and rocks falling or moving, and so
Yeah.
well, the other one I would see like giant creatures or dragons flying around. But this one I just feel there's more going up in the sky that's like shouting at me,
Plays with
which
your
is what I
OCD.
loved about.
I was gonna.
Your-
This is
Your
probably
attention deficit disorder, like you're
for
just like,
someone that has
"Ah."
ADHD. Not saying I do, but for anyone that does have ADHD, this is probably the worst game for you because the game is constantly pulling you in
Ooh, what's
different
that?
directions.
Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that?
Exactly. You look up
what's
in the
that?
you look up in the sky. There's something falling. Oh, let's go up there. You fucking look out in the distance. There's a shrine.
Do you ever?
There's a
do you
hole in
ever
the
walk-
ground. Should I go in there or not?
I know. Do you ever walk and like a mosquito or like a dragonfly walks by or something like that, and like it's just, do you want to catch it? And I'm like, oh, I didn't get it fast enough, and it drives me nuts. And like I chase after this
Yeah.
thing, this little thing that flew by me, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready for you to.
Yeah,
And
it
like
just fades.
I
out.
wouldn't have wanted it if it didn't do it, but yeah, and it drives me
Oh,
crazy.
Did you guys? Did you get the camera yet?
Yeah,
I have
I've-
the
I
camera. You
haven't
get the
used
camera
it
in the
at
beginning
all.
of the game, and what do you
Okay.
lose it or?
Do you
Yeah.
need to use it?
You don't need to, but it fills out your like Hyrule compendium, so it's kind of
I-
like a Pokemon
Yeah, I did that
Snap
in the old
kind of
game.
thing. Like I think you do get rewards from certain people if you fill it out. At least that's how it was in Breath of the Wild, so I'm assuming it's sort of similar to this. But I stopped doing that in Breath of the Wild, but now I'm just taking pictures of everything that I see. It's like
Okay.
Probably should do that.
it
More
it records because it not only if you take pictures of enemies, I think they give you like a little descriptor about them too, and maybe like some weaknesses as well.
Okay.
So there is some use to it, and I think like I'm assuming later on down the line you'll get rewarded if you have a certain amount of it filled out. But that's fun.
I'm gonna call. Let's fill up
Um,
with story. I mean,
Just-
we've talked about like.
There's
I
nothing to
haven't
talk
I
about.
haven't
I don't
engaged
even
with
wanna
the
talk about
story
the
at
story,
all.
though.
Well,
Yeah.
you've engaged with the story because we all went through the tutorial level.
I mean,
Like, how do
yeah.
you feel about that opening?
It's sweet.
It's the
opening
same cliche,
cinematic and setup and-
shit they
It's-
always do.
yeah.
Like, there's a reason for Zelda to be separated from Link.
Right.
There's a reason for me to lose my powers and start all over again. If it's not amnesia, if it was
Well,
like, oh, it's
Link's
that, like,
got to
that,
rescue
me,
the
it's like-
princess. That's it. That's the
I,
story.
don't know,
Yeah.
I just feel like it's
the villain's scary though. I thought the villain was
Oh,
The
pretty
villain's
cool.
cool looking, yeah. I mean, it's
Breath of the
it's gonna
Wild,
be
you're-
Ganondorf, but that's
Breath
fine.
of the Wild. You're just waking up and kind of like wandering around. Like this one, you're kind of like you got like a mission. I
Yeah.
haven't really done any of
That's
the
true.
mission yet, but
It is different than Breath of the Wild because I mean, at the get-go of Breath of the Wild, defeat Ganon is your main quest, and you can go do that anytime you want to. This one, it's more kind of traditional. Like, there's not one objective.
yeah,
It is
I've
like
heard there's
find
there's
And
Zelda,
there's
but
there's a mystery.
Shit.
Like they don't know what happened. Like
Right.
something happened. You and the princess went did something. Next thing you know, you're separated. Link, like everybody's like knows Link, and like, oh my god, you're back. But where's the princess?
Mhm.
And the castle's floating in the sky. There's just like more mystery for everybody, and it's like you kind of know what you got to do, but like it's not like the last game was pretty fucking obvious. Like go stop that guy. See, that's it. That's your goal. It's like Mordor. Like there's Sauron. Go over there. But like, this game is just like it's not as heavy-handed. It's kind of like the world's
Well-
literally gone to shit, and like you can explore it, and like as you explore, you bring it back to order or something. I don't actually.
I
don't
do
even
like
know.
that because everyone you
the end
talk
game.
to throughout the world's like, what the fuck is going on? Like these
Right.
fucking
I like.
these islands are rising in the sky. The castle's in the fucking air. There's holes in the
Yeah.
ground. People are getting sick. Like There's
So your goal is not like in your face in this one. I think it's just like we don't know what to do either, man. And like,
See,
yeah, I
right.
don't.
So it sounds like you guys are into the story.
I mean,
That's what I'm
I'm
getting.
into the world building, but like
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
you're into the
lore of
world.
this
Like,
one.
Yeah,
you're
of
not
course.
into like the main quest, but you're into it. All
I
right.
yeah.
Well,
it's good.
I feel
I thought it was like a smooth setup from beginning to like spitting you out into the world. It was like a good transition from the last game to set up the new story to spit you
Yeah.
out and give you these powers. I thought it was a nice,
I really like
elegant
how
solution.
they did that. They did the Metroid fucking take away all your powers at the beginning. They broke
They
the
did that right
Master
at the beginning, yeah.
Sword. They fucking
How dare they?
which is pretty crazy. Like I don't know if it's gonna come back, but
Just use your rewind power on it. Boom, done, fixed.
right. I'm sure. Yeah. That I didn't even think of that. But yeah, it's cool, and I do like how they tutorialize it. Like they give you a big area to start out with to learn the ropes. Give you a couple
That
shrines.
is kind of linear though.
which included snow, which
I
included
think-
how to, and then they
Yeah.
give you fucking like if you find them, like
It makes
a
sense
tire
that it's
to
Those
help
I
you
think
with
the
it.
pans were pretty easy to find. I thought they were right there, right outside.
Well,
of
I
the
mean,
shrine.
I found them, so they probably are easy. But yeah,
I don't even know. I don't know
So-
if I found them. I don't remember, to be honest.
You don't have warm pants?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Maybe I did.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know. I don't
Everybody's
remember.
got the warm pants.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
one thing I've seen they're leaning into too is like the customization. Like seems like there's a lot more outfits and stuff. I've
Well-
only found like one or two, but like they said that there's an entire town dedicated to like clothing or something
Fashion,
like that. I'm
and I
like,
keep
"Oh, okay."
hearing about this like dye shop that in like
Mhm.
Hateno Village or whatever.
Was
People are
that was
talking
from
about.
the old one,
Yeah.
right?
So like no, it's cool.
Well,
and
what
I
about
do,
you, Dave? Look,
Sorry, I was gonna say one more point. I do like
Good.
how they give you little hints of things to do throughout this game. Like they don't
Mhm.
give you explicit instructions on what to do, but they do guide you without guiding you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they
what,
say
sign guy?
head in this
oh, I
direction.
keep seeing the sign guy.
Oh, we
gotta
didn't even
keep
talk
helping
about
him.
Sign Guy.
Sign guy. Those puzzles are awesome. I love those.
So
yeah.
cute.
They're so
Good.
good.
Good idea.
But it's just like little dumb like distraction, like a 5-minute distraction, like fucking.
Some of them are
hold-
even shorter.
Yeah.
They're
Hold the
like
sign up. You're good. Go.
fuse those 2 tree trunks. Boom. Next. What do you got? Let's go.
I
Give
love
me
that.
give me my fucking my.
And
my
I love
rice
that
balls.
he's so shocked every time you do it. He's like, "What? It's standing up."
It's so Japanese though.
Like-
oh, this is unbelievable. You know, like the president would be so happy.
I love that though. It's charming.
Every time
Yeah.
he is pretty pumped about it. And he's like, here, take this, and fucking take this, and take. All
right, one more thing,
Some
take
of this
this.
stuff over here. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
it gives you
Oh,
$20 and a cheeseburger and some rice balls.
forgot
That's
about the pony points too. You guys been
I
hitting
haven't
your
even
pony
cashed mine
points?
in. No, I'm just
Gotta
racking
get
them
those.
up.
Gotta
They're
get
like
those
jelly
pony
points.
points. Gotta get those
Yeah.
pony
The
points.
horses are annoying me in this game for some reason. They're like cumbersome and probably closer to like what it is to riding a real horse. But
I've noticed that. Yeah,
Like,
if they're not, if
I'm
they,
not
if
like-
you don't have a good connection, they won't do exactly what you want.
I'm
You
not
gotta
near
soothe
an
them.
edge though. I do
Yeah.
soothe. I
And then
soothe.
you gotta get off your horse.
Oh.
Then you gotta get off your horse and take out an apple and drop it on the ground, and they eat it, and then they love you even more.
Oh, I didn't know that, Eric.
Okay.
Thank
Yes.
you. I didn't know that.
Wait,
Take
do
out
the horse's balls shrink when it goes up into colder weather?
That's
like
Red
in
Dead
Red
Redemption
Dead?
too.
No, I don't
Or is
think
it
so.
saying okay, they don't have the horse technology?
I don't think they
that
have
Red
horse
Dead has.
testicles in this
This-
game. No,
This game doesn't go that far. No,
Mm.
but you
it's not a
can
simulator.
you can feed the
Just
horses.
knocked that down to a 9.5 now.
You can feed the horses, and did you know there's a dog at every stable? You can also feed the dogs, and they'll like follow you around, and I think they like dig up little treasures for you, like
Ooh,
rupees
that's
for you.
good. See,
So if-
see, that's like the little kind of tiny stuff that's like just
Yeah.
sprinkled in that you don't, if you could completely miss and not know it.
Do you have a like a little bird? Like I kill like the birds and get the raw bird leg.
Oh yeah.
Drop one of those on the ground in front of a dog. He'll eat it, and then he'll love you and follow you around.
Oh really?
Yep.
Do they fight for you?
No, they don't follow you really outside the stable, but they'll follow you
okay.
like just around that area and
I had-
dig up some stuff.
This could have happened in Breath of the Wild, but like it happened in this game last night. I was like walking around this pond, and there was a bunch of trees. It was a storm, putting away all my like fucking armor and
Yeah, don't
weapons
get
and stuff like that,
zapped.
so I don't get electrocuted. Yeah, and but there's like these deer everywhere and boars and stuff like that. Well, anyways, there was like, oh man, there's a big like deer. I wonder if I can like ride that one. So I start crouching. As soon as I start crouching, lightning strikes the thing, fucking blows the thing up, and leaves
The deer?
cooked prime meat on the ground. It wasn't even raw; it was cooked prime meat. I was like,
That's great.
good.
sweet. I was
Oh,
like, I didn't
shit.
like the game just fucking nuked this deer
From
for me,
orbit.
cooked it.
Just fucking zapped it. That's great.
Yeah, and I ate it, and I was like, oh wow, cool, and I ended up eating it later in a fight. But I thought that was really really funny. But anyways, Dave, yeah, like how do you think you'll be playing out this game? Because it's only been a couple of weeks for us, really.
Yeah, I have a weird thing where I like to get the towers in all the areas
Sure.
before I'm trying to like, work my way down towards some of the other villages and not fuck around with like the main story stuff and kind of like, training montage myself up, make sure I get some towers, make sure I get some powers, get my hearts up before I go and start doing any of that stuff. So yeah, take my time. I'm in no rush. I just want to get some rocket Zonai devices. I want to find some of those things and shoot a little Korok dude off a cliff into the ocean or something like that.
What's the most weird thing you've made with your using or your Ultra Hand in the Zonai devices? Or maybe even not Zonai devices, but just fusing shit together.
I made a balloon thing yesterday. It was just like, because I don't have the big wheels and I don't have anything, so it was just like balloon and flame emitter, and then it just kind of like awkwardly raised us up a cliff, and then I just took the Korok and I threw him off the thing, and then just he landed at the top, and I'm like, all right, I'm good, and then I just jumped off and reunited him with his buddy.
Yeah, the heat in the balloons is fun.
Mhm.
Like I've made like little ships, not ships, but like little. I'll make like a rectangle, and I'll get inside the rectangle. And I'll put my candles down or whatever, and then I'll put the balloons up on the sides,
Oh.
and then
How do you have
like
candles? Sorry. What do you use for candles?
Well, one of them was in a shrine. I remember
Like the
that.
flame
okay.
emitter things you're talking about?
But then there's other things with flame. Yeah, then you get like
okay.
the big things that blast like
I thought
heat
you
and
made
stuff.
a candle that I didn't have, and I was like, oh.
No, that
Yeah.
one. Well, that was specifically in a shrine. I made that one. That was really cool because like that's what I was saying. How I was able to beat like half of the puzzle because I just made this thing that just let me keep going up and up, and I didn't have to do anything. Yeah, I like anything like that using the heat. I don't know. I think that's just cool. Like, oh, there's like a heat mechanic. Like that's physics. That's great. Like
Something
and the closer you get it, the faster. And like the more you have, the higher and faster it goes. So I was like, this is cool.
something super simple that works really well in a pinch. Like if you're stuck, you want to get across a body of water, take one of those flight things, the bird looking things that you can fly on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Put one of those in the water, just attach a fan to it, and it's like a perfect boat.
Oh, okay. I thought about doing that, but I didn't know if it would work or
It's
not.
a perfect boat because you can steer it too by walking to either side, and it
Which I
tilts
love.
it. Yeah.
Dude, I love when I first did that. I was like, I put one down on these rails. I'm like, what do I do now? And as they walk away, it just started sliding.
Zooms off. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sweet.
Everybody did.
So
that.
I got on and I
Sorry,
put a fan
I
on it, and then when it started flying off, I was like, well, what now? Do I do? And I started walking around, and I realized, OMG, like you can move around and steer those. What are they called?
They're just like Eagle.
Oh yeah,
thing. Eagle Zonai devices.
I forgot what they're called. Yeah, the gliders.
Gliders.
Yeah.
But like, what a cool concept! It's so Nintendo approach to solving this. Just walk around it. Walk on the left side, it goes left. Go to the front, it pitches. And I was like, this is
Dude, let me hit you with this. I found you can use a minecart, or I found a Zonai. There's a cart device, a Zonai cart device, just like a board with a couple wheels. Attach it to attach it to a shield. Now you have a skateboard.
Oh,
still breaks
sweet.
though.
You shield
which
surf.
I was upset about.
You shield. Yeah, it'll break, but you shield surf
I was going
on
down
it,
a mountain
and you can
broke.
and you got a skateboard. So cool.
I'm kind of like Dave. I'm just like exploring the shrines. I'm trying to just kind of hit all the beacon. I'm just trying to open up the world to see what I have.
Yeah.
And then I'm really focusing on just collecting shit. I'm really just collecting ingredients. I'm just like, what's out there?
You'll
and
need
then
it eventually. Somebody will
then I'm gonna
ask
start
for
cooking
something. Like
yeah. Yeah,
Seems
I
like
feel
you
like I'm
can
just,
get.
well, I
Sorry,
feel like
go ahead.
well, I just want to say like I feel like each night it's good. You need a couple hours to play this game to really get progress done,
Yes.
and you kind of have to have like a goal, like a state of mind. Like I'm
Mhm.
going to do these, I'm going to do that, but
You
like
absolutely do. Yeah.
tonight I'm just going to focus on my inventory, which could be swapping out old weapons, cooking food, replacing, like maybe finding like a certain thing for like temperature or whatever. Like there's certain things you can wear, but just focusing on that, I think that's how I'm going to be approaching this
It's got
game. I
that.
think
It's so
You,
weird
you
to
open the
me.
need
world
to
and
have
then
that attention to it. It's like going back and like it's not daunting to play, but like going back to play Elden Ring is daunting because I'm like,
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna have to put in like 30 hours into like getting back up to speed and doing stuff. And like Zelda, like I may spend 2 hours or 3 hours a night, and I did a shrine and did a couple other things. I went to a town and like that's it. It doesn't feel like you did a lot, but then when you start stacking all those like
yes.
encounters that you have on top of each other, like you're doing a fucking lot of stuff.
Have
That's
you
what it
been
is for
down in
me.
the depths yet, Dave? Oh no, you
Oh yeah,
have. Yeah, because
yeah,
like
yeah.
that alone could
That's it.
just be like, I'm just gonna unlock a bunch
Explore
of
the
that
depths.
tonight.
Yeah, that's what it is
You
for
know?
me.
Hey, I
Like
got
even if you're playing for, like you said, an hour or something, you might not feel like you accomplished a lot, but like, hey, I did like 3 shrines, and like
3 shrines in an
it's
hour would be impressive.
it's
You got
it's
some opal.
satisfying,
You
you
got
know.
some rupees, maybe a new weapon.
You're constantly collecting shit. You're making new weapons. Finding rare like if you find like a rare monster part, you can make a really powerful weapon. Like some of those big boss bokoblins just have a battle axe on their head as a horn. So you
Yeah.
can use
Yeah, I've gotten
it to
killed
make a
by
sweet
those.
weapon. But
I feel like you can travel quicker in this game too, because really all you need to do is see one of those rocks come down from the sky. And even if it
Yep.
goes up to nothing,
Yes.
you just jump off of it and coast, and you can
Glide.
just fly for as far as you
And
fucking want.
I,
You
I
can
I
get
think
from edge to edge pretty quick.
I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say that you can get a glider outfit.
You
Could have
can.
sworn I saw. Okay, I thought I saw something like that on social, but like that would be sweet. Like I don't know
Like a
how far it'll let
wingsuit?
you go. Like a
Yeah,
wingsuit.
kind of.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know
sweet.
what it does. I don't know if it's like end game or what, but like I was like that alone. I feel like if you had that, then like yeah, Dave, you will just recall your
gliding
rock
across.
and shoot and then just zip around. Like you really could. Yeah,
Because
the transportation in this game is pretty nice.
some of the spots on
Yeah.
the map, like I went to like the Forest of Time and I walked around and there's just fucking nothing there. And I'm like, well, this is kind of a fucking beat. Or you run across a field and there's nothing for a little while. Like the game is not perfect. There are empty swaths of, map that
I thought that was
may
the
have a
last
puzzle
game.
below it, may have a puzzle above it, and it just like
Yeah.
you're like, I'm just running through a fucking field, just like get me to something cool. But really, what you should be doing is probably like, you should be riding a horse or
Yes.
like
Just
traveling
build
up
a
and
fucking
then
crazy
zooming down to.
contraption to get yourself in the air.
I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have a control stick. Like I can't control anything yet. I can't.
Yeah, I've found a
I've got
couple of them
fans and
out in the
fans
wild,
and
but
wheels and shit. But
I don't have any of the capsules, but I found a couple of them.
there's just so much to do here. I have one direction I want to send you guys. Like, is that
Sure.
okay?
Yeah.
Try heading back to where Breath of the Wild starts.
Okay.
Okay, Great
I was
Plateau
in-
That's
area.
I went back there and like that because was that place floating in Breath of the Wild?
No, it was just the Great Plateau. It was just like a plateau.
Yeah.
It's still
elevated.
great. It's still a plateau, but I always like to go back and see because I went back. I'm like, well, the fucking Temple of Time. I wonder if it's still there. And I went back and it's still there. But
Yeah.
no, there's some cool things that happen up there. I don't know, or you can go back to this place where you were resurrected, or any of those things. But then I don't know. I found that led me to stuff in other places, and it kind of sent me on a whole wild goose chase. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like that's like the best part of the game. Like I forget what Shigeru Miyamoto said. Like he had like the feeling of like being a child and exploring like the woods behind your house or something like that, and like the feeling of exploration and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And like that kind of, it's a good summary of what I don't know, like the main pull of the gameplay is that exploration and what's over the next hill kind of.
It's exactly why I loved Breath of the Wild, and that's exactly why I love this game. Just taking me where it goes.
I liken these games to being like Portal and Portal 2. Like, you have the first one, which was really good at what it did.
That's a good.
And then the second one is just like balls to the wall. It's like everything that you liked about the first one, even better. Like, yes, that wonder moment is kind of like what makes the first one like really good. Same with Breath of the Wild, but like we could just turn it up a notch. You know, adding like a 3-layer world. You know, the powers are just like easier to use. They're more fun. There's more puzzles. I think the world is more optimized. Like I said, I feel like I have weapons all over now. I feel like there's more variety. I don't feel like there's like big boring things I gotta walk around anymore. I feel like there's always something just right there. I think this map is way better than Breath of the Wild. Everything about this game I think is just like this I can get behind. Like the other one I think, yeah, it's good.
Dude, you said
wasn't for me.
You said
this one is just
said fun. I think that's the key word. Like I think they really. I mean, Nintendo always takes this to heart. They think about what would be fun. They think about what would be games. They think about the fun first and then the rest later. Yeah. What would be fun?
Right.
Fucking fusing two weapons together? Yes, that would be fun.
Controls.
Rewinding.
They're problem solving what was wrong with some of the first game and they're building upon it.
So. It's not necessarily what was wrong, it's just that they learned, you know.
Yeah, get better.
They fixed a lot of stuff between like now you can't just control metal things, you can control everything and then you can stick them together and then you know.
Yeah. I mean, some developers are afraid to give the player that amount of agency and freedom, but clearly they are
surprisingly
game.
You can't, like, the game doesn't like completely glitch out and fucking break when when you're doing all this
with all these physics systems interacting with each other. You know, fucking we see open world games all the time with weird physics glitches, people, you know, ragdolling, clipping through shit. Like, you don't really
the engine, though?
see.
Is that what you were saying?
I mean, yeah, it's okay. The technical issues about, you know,
that's why
what they've worked out all the kinks. You're saying,
or that it's so old that it doesn't take a lot of processing power to do the physics of actual everything.
Well, I don't think that's it. I think Nintendo just polishes the shit out of their games. Like, I don't think I've seen any bugs in this game. Besides,
I have not experienced anything weird.
Nobody glitching through a wall. Nobody fucking nothing like breaking.
I can't complain at all about this game. Like, it's
sure the frame rate is rough in some places, but that's literally the only technical flaw I've seen.
The Switch is
it's handicapped by the hardware, and that's it.
Yeah,
but technically, it's pretty incredible that they pulled this game off.
Yeah,
and it's in, you know, I'm glad that they delayed it until it was ready to come out, because it clearly shows. Like,
I was intimidated.
This game.
I thought it was gonna be obnoxious. I thought I was like, man, I'm starting to finally understand like Breath of the Wild, and I'm not gonna like Tears of the Kingdom. It's just gonna be like this and that, and like it did the opposite. It made everything that just like the little quality of life things were just enough. They're just everywhere in this game. And I'm like, it won me over, man. It
warms my heart to hear you say that.
I mean, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. You know, I think it's an incredible game.
Especially since you said really good before, like you'll spend some time fucking cooking shit and, you know, collecting.
And
stuff.
This one, it's I don't know.
You're not a like survival crafting dude at all in your games, but
because there's so much food and
it's on the side. Like you can ignore it if you want.
You could, yeah.
I mean,
but there's rewards and benefits for you to interact with those systems too. So
come play some Valheim then.
No.
No.
I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah, there's so much more to talk about. There will be so much more to talk about too.
Yeah, I was gonna say have a spoiler episode in a little bit where we just kind of talk about dumb shit that we've done.
I would like to revisit it, you know, even if it's like for a 30-minute side episode, just to kind of like revisiting Tears of the Kingdom. You know, I think that'd be fun. Maybe we can get somebody as a guest for that one, or maybe, you know, if somebody's listening to this, they want to write in, go for it. But yeah, we'll definitely come back to this game.
I mean, I'm gonna be playing it. That's all I'm gonna be playing, like until, like, I don't know, Starfield comes out or something. crazy
Right?
like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this this game is like gonna be even. I mean, I'll obviously be playing some stuff on the side, but this will be like my
This is a good summer game.
I wanna play
Perfect summer
something.
game.
Goes in.
Want to play something? I'm gonna pick up the Switch and play Tears of the
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Oh, show.
Well, good job, Nintendo. Well done to everybody that worked on this one. You even got me.
Even
Saying it's a
got
great
Brandon.
game. Finally got me.
All right, let's tell him. Let's email Fubayashi, the director, and be like, "We got it. Brandon. He finally likes it."
Yeah. Well, that was fun. So let's I don't know. What are we doing? Paraglide. Well, paraglide to Act 3. Yeah, paraglide would be fun because it's on theme with this game. And then
Good transition.
yeah, and when we do land, we're gonna be playing a round of video game 20 questions.
Oh.
Ooh. All right.
What do you think I was gonna do?
course.
Like a Zelda? I don't know
I
enough
was gonna
Zelda
wait.
to
I
do
was
it.
waiting for Zelda
A
trivia.
Zelda quiz.
Zelda,
Yeah.
no, this
Who
is not.
was
If
Link's
Eric comes to this one,
father?
maybe.
Who was
Yeah,
Link's Link was
What's
a
Link's last name? Oh, real quick though, before we do leave, my kids are like watching me playing this game, and they're like, they thought I was playing Zelda, and they're like, "Well, why is it called The Legend of Zelda?" And I go, "Son,
Don't get me started.
don't when it comes to names for Nintendo games, just don't pay attention. The Mario Brothers makes no sense. It's being called The Legend of Zelda makes no sense. It just sounds cool. And that's it.
It's a legend about Zelda.
And you only play as Link.
They
were blown away that you were
she
Link.
talks, so they named the game after her. Link is just the side character. Link is just he's the what is he? He's the sidekick.
The game should be called The Adventures of Link, let's be honest, but
Yeah,
They
it
tried
was
that
the
already,
best-
and that was
that
a
was the
terrible
best
game.
Zelda game. Was the Adventures
because
of Link.
Legend of
The
Zelda
best Zelda
sounds cool.
It was it's an underrated Nintendo game. Let's be honest.
It's not.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's pretty fun. It's fine. All right. Anywho, all right. We'll be right back.
That's not gonna line up.
I'll figure it out. All right. We have a return.
Mm-hmm.
We're safely on ground. So don't fall off because we're pretty high up right now. But admire the clouds. They're beautiful up here.
I'm
And,
pretty high.
Have some golden apples while you guys are here. Some sundelions, whatever they are. And get baked if you need to. Yeah, and relax. Let's play a round of video game 20 questions.
20 cues.
Do it.
All right. We all know the rules of 20 questions. They ask questions, but all they can say is yes or no. And they only get one shot at guessing what the game is. Okay.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Was this game released after the year 2000?
No.
No, it was not. Oh.
Is it released after the year 1990?
Yes.
All right, 90s jam. Or 2000,
Sweet.
technically. It could have come out in the year 2000. But yeah, so 90s game generally. Did this come out? Was this a platform exclusive when it released?
Yes.
Was it a Nintendo platform?
No.
Sony?
No.
Oh shit. All right. I mean, it could have been.
Slow down.
I know.
Slow down.
I-
Xbox
we gotta-
isn't out yet.
No, it's not
isn't out
Xbox.
until the 2000s. This is fucking
Could be Sega, like Dreamcast. It could be.
Sega Dreamcast.
I mean, it could be PC technically, if we're counting
is
that.
this a? Well, I want to say 3D or sprites based. It's the easiest way to ask that, I guess. Is this game 3D?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay.
So it's an exclusive for. I mean, should we narrow down the Sega? I mean, we're here.
I mean, unless
I
it's.
don't know what else there is.
I mean, there's like PC, yeah, Sega, arcade. I don't know if that would. I mean, I did say console exclusive, so I don't know. It would be kind of.
You said platform exclusive.
I did say platform exclusive, so it could
technically
technically
arcade is
be
a
arcade.
platform.
Yeah.
So it's not 3D though. Nail down the system.
I feel like we gotta.
Was you Sega or I mean, because Genesis is out in this time period as well, so it could
Yeah,
be.
Genesis, Dreamcast, one of those. At this point?
If it's not 3D though, I want to say it's got to be Genesis.
Most likely.
Is this game a Sega Genesis game?
Just say Sega. Just I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
All right, yeah. Well, go Sega, sure. Is this a Sega game?
Yes.
All right, cool. So yeah, probably more likely the Genesis, since early days of like the Dreamcast were all about 3D.
Yeah. Sega
And I can't-
Nintendo.
I can't really think of any 2D games on Dreamcast.
No, that's why the 3D kind of knocked that out. Does this game include a blue hedgehog?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
No. Okay. All right. That eliminates Sonic games. All right. That's good.
That's funny.
I figured Brandon might be just trying to sneak that one in because we know he hates Sonic. He's an anti-Sonic person.
I don't hate
hates-
Sonic. I just don't think it's as good as like Mario Brothers or anything that's like renowned. Like I think those games are like the first level's good, got some good tunes, but like Sonic levels are not as good as.
This platforming
Alright,
is all
let's-
just too floaty.
It's about speed, and then they just add more shit, and it kills like the momentum. I don't know. I think those games are messy. Anywho,
Anywho, toughie. I'm not
I mean, you could start
huge on
narrowing
the
down
Genesis.
the genre, we could start looking at brawlers, platformers, side scrollers.
Yeah. Are you I don't know, killing things in this game?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Could be Golden Axe. It could
Yeah, I
be
thought of
Streets
that.
of Rage, or any of those guys.
Okay, so
I
you're
don't know
killing
what other.
things. Are
It's not
you
3D. Is this a brawler game?
No.
Hmm. Okay, well, it knocks out all of those.
I mean, a lot of games back then, like the mechanics. What defines a brawler? I guess.
You're walking from left to right,
yeah,
punching.
Okay,
and
so that is very
doing,
specific.
like a
then,
side-scrolling beat 'em up?
Side, yeah.
Right. Then like okay, yes, like Streets of Rage and stuff. Yeah.
No, it's not that.
No, it's not
Okay.
Not that.
that type of gameplay. Yeah.
All right.
Is this
What else was a Genesis exclusive back then? Like Earthworm Jim.
right? Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like Golden Axe, like that.
Cruising
I don't know
USA.
many Genesis games.
I was not a Genesis kid either. I know the
The
essentials.
big ones, yeah.
I don't think it would be a driving game. Puzzle games. I don't know.
I mean, you're killing stuff, he said, in this game, so,
Oh, that's true.
so it eliminates that stuff.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
So it's most
Right.
likely like a, action, some sort of,
Are there any fighting games that are exclusive on the?
there's a,
I want to correct something because
oh god, here we go.
when you say it's not, they're not like it's not killing technically. Not killing, but like you are attacking.
Attacking and defeating enemies, you would say?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's it's but like technically I don't think they're killing.
There's
So I just want you to
there's no
yeah.
blood or anything. So like not like Splatterhouse or something crazy
Not
like
Mortal
that.
Kombat.
I think blood is involved and then they're dead. Yes. Yeah, there's killing involved. There's yeah.
Okay.
But I
It's
just
like,
want to make. I just want. I realized the way I answered it. I was like, that's kind of misleading. So I want to clarify that.
Could
Are
be
we-
like
what-
a.
10 questions.
I was gonna say like one of those space shooter games that kind of scrolled like a R-Type or a Gradius or something.
I was gonna
like that.
say,
those
did they-
aren't exclusive to that, but I don't.
Right. Did they I don't know. I'm trying to think of any like
Oh.
arcade ports. I don't but that would be
made it over there.
exclusive to Genesis? I don't know.
Yeah, because I was thinking like Rampage or.
And would that count as a platform exclusive if it was an arcade port? I don't know.
No, probably not.
Is that your question?
No.
Nope. Try and
It was a hard nope.
sucker us in there. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Genesis. Okay, well, hold on. I'm trying to think of side scrollers. So I'm thinking like the main Genesis game that I think of when I think of Genesis is Altered Beast.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because you do kind of kill things in that. They kind of like explode into giblets and go off.
That was also I mean, was it an arcade game first? I know there was an arcade.
I think so.
Cabinet.
Yeah.
I've definitely played the arcade game. I remember "Rise from Your Grave."
Yeah, for sure.
It's your
Be very
wave.
loud.
Yeah, that was all over.
So it could be, yeah, it definitely could be Altered Beast. Again, I don't know if like platform exclusive if it's an arcade port, is it technically? And I guess it is if we're just talking about consoles, but
Should we ask if it's multiplayer?
yeah, that's a good
That
question.
could narrow things down.
Yeah.
All right, multiplayer, Brandon.
Yes. Yeah, it's multiplayer. You can play with your friends.
Which Altered Beast was, right?
Was multiplayer? Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
Altered Beast sounds pretty good.
Uh,
I mean, are you technically killing things in that game? Because aren't you defeating like undead things? So like they're already dead.
technically. Well, what are we at? 1, 2. That was 11 questions. This is question number 12. So
Yeah,
we still got some. We got some wiggle room.
You got some wiggle room. You could throw some Hail
I mean, should we
Marys.
just narrow it out or
Yeah.
eliminate it?
Do you turn from a human to an animal in this game?
To an Altered Beast?
Do I alter to a beast in this game? The answer to your question, Dave, is no.
Oh, yeah.
There's no
Damn it.
altering of the beast.
No altering of the beast.
All right.
It could still be Golden Axe.
We said it's not a brawler game or a.
Golden Axe isn't technically. It's not a side-scrolling brawler.
Sure, it is.
No, it's not side-scrolling. It's like top-down, isn't it?
It's like. Done,
Or is it
like
left
a
turn? Oh, yeah,
Double
it's like
Dragon.
yeah, that's right. What game am I thinking of? Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I guess Golden Axe. Yeah. Now that you mention that,
It's not
Making
like
you guys like think about an era, a very specific era. You're just like, what games existed on that
it is
console?
tough
I don't know. Maybe
because well, I don't know if we've both played this game. That's a good
What's that?
question.
Oh, if we've
Whatever
played it before.
this game is.
Brandon
Yeah, I
might.
can't help you answer
I was
that
gonna
question.
say Brandon might not even know that.
Oh, I'm looking through your thoughts and memories, and yes, I can see you've played this game at one point. No,
Genesis is
Can't
like the
tell.
one blind spot in that era because I think I had one, but we only had Sonic, so I don't really know too many Genesis games.
It's like a garage sale find. You get it, and you get that one game.
Right.
That's all you get.
right. You got to look back at those like vintage collections that Xbox has from Genesis. You know,
Right.
All right, next question.
Could it be a fighting game? I don't know. Fighting games
Multiplayer.
that came out on there.
I also feel like he wouldn't say you're killing things if it was a fighting game. Like a one-on-one fighting game, I wouldn't say that you're killing things.
I mean, no, technically not.
I mean, it's called a KO. You're knocking them out.
Unless you're in Mortal Kombat. but
Unless you're in
that's-
Mortal Kombat, yeah. That's true.
Genesis. Well, we didn't technically
I mean, technically, we narrowed it down, but we don't know 100%.
didn't technically say it was Genesis. We could still be talking Sega Dream Kyles.
It could be, but like what?
What pixel
What
games
2D
you gonna find on
game?
there?
What 2D game where you're killing stuff? Are you? I mean, we don't even technically know the nature of things. Like, you could be in a ship. We don't even know if you're a human.
Great questions. Start asking them.
I don't know what ship games you would have back then either, but yeah.
God. Oh, crack my brain. Do you
Um,
play as a human in this game?
Yes, that's what I was gonna. Or
No.
No. So, I don't know. You probably can't answer this, but does being a ship in a game count? Because, like, technically, maybe a human is piloting that ship, or like,
I would say if a human is piloting some kind of vehicle, I think that would still stand true. Like, it's because that's what's piloting it. Like, if you're
Okay.
an airplane, the human's flying an airplane. not a
Yeah,
dog.
I was gonna say, well, for something like Galaga, are you the ship, or are you the thing inside the ship?
I am.
You're the
my
thing inside
name
the ship.
is
But you don't
Doug
know.
Galaga.
You don't know what's in the ship though. So in
Those
that
games have a
instance,
backstory in the cartridge.
Yeah.
Probably just some
I wouldn't
human
dig into it
space
that
pilot.
far.
Captain Douglas Galaga.
Like for something like Galaga,
that's what
I
it's
would
named
say
after.
like you are the ship. But the human question's weird. Maybe I'm thinking.
we're not a
Maybe I'm
human.
thinking too hard about it.
Well, I'm telling you right now for this video game, you are not
Not a
human
human.
being.
Not a human being. What about
Take
like
it for what you will.
fucking you said Earthworm Jim. You're an earthworm. Trying to think of other like mascot. Did Gex was Gex on Sega first?
Spot the 7-Up game.
I'm talking about Gex, the gecko.
I don't know Gex the Gecko.
You don't know Gex?
I remember Gex.
Sounds pretty lame.
It was.
He wore sunglasses at night.
He was cool. All right.
And he did jokes while he
Yeah.
moved.
So yeah, Earthworm Jim is probably a good.
I mean, we could ask if it's a side scroller.
Yeah. It's a side scroller platformer.
No.
What?
Oh,
Damn.
Okay.
All right. Well, that
So,
eliminates.
Like, is there any puzzle games on Genesis that would be?
Where you're killing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Puzzle Fighter.
I was gonna say Puzzle Fighter, but was that on Genesis?
I don't know. I don't think so. That might be early PlayStation.
Let me give you a tip. I really thought you guys would have got this by now. Like, I thought you would get this in the way you started. I'm like, oh man, they're gonna get this in like 8 questions.
Trying to think of the heavy hitters, but everything's coming up blank.
Strider, like that one's not a Genesis game, or that one is a side scroller, right? So that's not gonna be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Not a side
What-
scroller, but it's 2D.
it's not Marble Madness because that wasn't a Sega exclusive. That was on Genesis. They had a good version on Genesis, actually.
It makes me think it's like a fucking chip game or something.
Something stupid that we're overlooking that we
Ask a
should-
question.
that we should be thinking of, but we're not thinking of. It's like that name 5 things in 10 seconds game where your
Right.
brain kind of shits its
Mhm.
pants.
I was just gonna eliminate all. Are you shooting things in a ship?
No.
Okay. All right. Get that out of the way.
I'll help you out. You're not a ship at all.
12,
You're
13,
neither
14,
human nor
15.
ship.
So probably an animal or something. Alien.
It's not 3D. So
Wait,
it's not
is-
Seaman or whatever his name is.
No, it's not.
Seaman.
Seaman. Seaman.
Seaman.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say Boogerman, but that's a platformer, and he is Boogerman a
And
human?
side scroller. It's a side scroller. Yes, I believe so.
He's a
flicking
booger,
his
isn't he?
boogers. No, he's flicking his boogers at things.
Oh. Okay. Booger Man. Only the 90s would have had a game fucking called Booger Man. Jesus.
What are like the tent poles for Genesis other than Sonic,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Golden Axe, like tent poles? Like what is
That's
what
like the
what
only
kept
fucking thing I
Sega
can think
afloat?
of is Sonic.
Ask another question to help you figure it out.
Well, it's not Sonic. We already eliminated that.
Shit. I got the arcade machine going behind me. I could just
I know. I just want to grab my Switch and look at like the Genesis Nintendo
through.
Online.
Is Genesis on Nintendo Online?
Yeah,
Oh shit. I don't know if I knew that one.
I haven't touched the library, which probably would have helped me here.
Maybe, I was gonna say maybe you should. No.
Maybe I should.
Well, I'm
So-
running low on ideas.
How many questions do we got?
That was 15. We have
Yeah, you guys got some
Ugh.
questions. Let's go.
we got
Do you
4
play
left.
as an animal in this game?
No.
The fuck are you then? A ball? Is it Uniracer or some shit?
No. Not an animal. That's why I'm thinking like puzzle games or
Like a strategy game? You know? No fucking RTSs
It's
on
too early.
Genesis.
like was SimCity out that early? No. It's like SimCity.
No, and SimCity was on one of the Nintendo consoles. Might have even been NES. The original. Fuck.
Yeah, sorry, this isn't more interesting. I think Brandon's been a little jilted by us solving some of his early ones quickly, so now he's just starting to like the last one with the Ewok adventure and now this one.
He said he thought we would get this one, so it can't be like some obscure thing.
I want to say that this is actually from my wife too. I asked her for in the movie, and it was
It's kind of hard.
the Ewok, and then
She doesn't play nice.
No, and then I said like I want to.
Yeah, she's the one that gave us the
question.
fucking Ewok adventure
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly.
And she, I think she's the one that called this one out, and I was like, "Yep."
It's a
That's
deep
good pick.
cut. Deep cut from the lady.
I don't know. She
It
she
must
thought it'd
not be
easy.
that deep.
No, which is the troubling thing.
The
I mean, she was a child of like the 80s and 90s.
still
like,
don't have
she
a
played the same
genre.
games we did.
no, we don't
you know?
have a genre.
Big ones. You know,
Could be like Space Harrier or like one. I guess that was an arcade game too, but
Yeah. You're not a ship. You're not a
you're not-
human.
I was
you're
gonna say you're not a ship, so it's not like Top Gun or
not a ship. You're not a human. You're not an animal. What the fuck are you?
person, a place, or a thing. Are you Spot? You're not Spot because it's not a side scroller, so it's not that dumb 7-Up
Is it
game.
no. I guess no. Oh, it's
why is it a
it's-
dumb
hold on.
7-Up game?
It is
Rules out
multiplayer. I'm forgetting that.
sports because you play as humans in sports.
What multiplayer games were big back in the day? Yeah, like fighting games are like the only thing I can think of. Fucking
It was like the
and
dinosaur
fighting
game.
games and brawlers.
Primal Rage. Well, you're not playing as a human, so it's not like a NBA Jam.
Yeah, Primal Rage is a good. Or is Primal Rage? Are you animals in Primal Rage?
You're dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. So that would count as an animal, right?
Brandon, are dinosaurs considered animals?
That doesn't count as a question.
No, it doesn't.
Animals are, yes, anything that's not
Okay.
human on this. Well,
Anything that's not human is an animal.
It's not primal. It's not Primal Rage.
animal, yeah, what defines an animal?
What about like a lemmings?
What defines an animal? We're getting into the deep
Oh.
questions here.
Well, is like
What is
the
life?
flu an animal? No, it's a virus. But like,
It's an organism.
right, but humans are an organism, but like, yeah.
Well,
I don't know,
technically,
what-
humans are animals, so it's a
yeah, I
just
guess
a
we are animals.
complex,
guess-
multi-celled organism.
Sure.
True, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like there's a Jurassic Park game on Genesis, but you're technically playing as a human there.
Is it a fighting game?
No.
Fuck! What the fuck is it?
I really thought you guys
Racing
got this
game?
soon. I
Is
was
it like
It's not a racing game because you're not in a ship or a car. A car's not a ship.
and like the only thing I can think of is where you're killing stuff or defeating stuff is like Road Rage or something. But you're
I was Road Rash.
Road Rash, yeah. But you're a human.
plot twist. You're lizard men in those bikes,
And like
those helmets.
fucking what the fuck?
It's not like a Smash TV because you're playing.
How
as
many
a
questions
human
you
there.
got? How many you got? What do you got?
That was 17. We're on
Oh my
18
god!
now.
All right, come on, guys.
It's What other
gonna-
what other multiplayer games are there besides fucking fighting games and brawlers and
Well, it's not a sport game
it
because
can't
you
be a
don't play as a
sports
human.
game unless
Shame.
it's fucking like something stupid like Mutant League football or some bullshit like that.
Mm.
But I don't know if
I think Brand's
when it
wife's
came out.
suggesting Mutant League football, though. That's the thing.
Her father was the lead developer on that game, actually. So.
I have no idea when that game even came out. Multiplayer. That's what's tripping me up.
Like ships. Are we considering cars ships? I guess is it a racing game?
That's what I was thinking, but I can't think of any racing games where you're fucking. I don't know.
Killing stuff.
Is it a? I'm just gonna take a swing. Is it a licensed game?
No.
What the fuck?
All right, Dave, you have not asked a question in a while. What are you doing over there?
I'm struggling. That's what I'm doing.
Eric has burned through like 5 questions.
I'm writing down these
I'm
lists.
just taking wild swings.
Right. I mean, yeah, I know Dave ain't asking any.
Is this? I mean, we got one question left.
You guys didn't do any of the
Oh.
big generic questions that you would ask for any other game.
I think we're just stuck because we don't know Genesis games.
Is it a franchise? Is it still going on?
If it
Blah, blah,
was, I
blah.
don't know what it would be. Like, even if I had the answers to those questions, I don't
Yeah.
think it would help me.
Is this a? I want to say ask if it's a driving game. Like it's too early for Twisted Metal.
I feel like we're just completely
And
going
that's
off in a
PlayStation.
opposite
Yeah.
direction.
Where are you taking me, Dave? Turn around.
Not in the right
Right the way home.
direction.
Wait, no, I was gonna say Spy Hunter, but that was like an arcade
Spy Hunter's
port
on a
on
whole
like
bunch of
NES. Yeah, that's
Spy
not a
Hunter's an underrated classic.
platform exclusive. Fucking a Sega platform exclusive that's multiplayer that came out in the 90s. That's not
Yeah.
that's not a platformer. That's not a fighting game. It's not a brawler.
It's not
Well,
humans. It's not animals. It's not spaceships.
Right.
Well, no.
It's a puzzle, like a
Wait.
puzzle game.
Oh, no. But like
No,
defeating
wheels
stuff.
are turning.
I was thinking like Puyo Puyo or something like that, But
So, something, yeah. You think my wife played that?
I don't fucking know. It had to be a popular game. I know your wife's not a huge gamer, but if she knows this, it must be a pretty popular game.
Yeah, it was known for sure. I mean, it was definitely known. I mean, there's another hint for you. I mean,
And that's what I had assumed this whole time, but
Yeah, exactly.
Chat.
My main
chat, help us out. We've had one
main,
person watching the whole time. So someone's
Alright, well,
watching.
maybe they can send something in. Otherwise, like, ask a question. Let's wrap this up. What do you got?
Yeah, let's just end it. What else we got?
is it a? I don't know. Is it a sports game?
No, it's a sports game. It's not
Sports
a sports.
includes including racing.
It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
fucking sports or racing, but yes,
Is-
that's as best as I got.
All right. No.
I didn't
it's
think
not.
so.
What is your guess? Sega exclusive.
I feel like
multiplayer,
we have all the pieces, but
2D graphics.
Not sports,
I feel like
not
we're
racing.
gonna feel dumb.
Yeah, it's not Altered Beast.
Yeah. Will I feel dumb after I hear the answer to this?
I feel like you guys will be like, oh yeah, totally forgot about that. You clearly are missing out on something that was like a. I mean, Eric, I can give you you have an excuse as to maybe not getting this because you weren't around when this game came out, but Dave and I were. Dave should have got this, I would say. Dave, how dare you? How could you?
Just couldn't get
is
there.
Is it?
Not a Sega.
It's
Sega
not
boy.
a brawler. I
Just name it. Just name it a Sega exclusive that is not Sonic the Hedgehog. You have a chance of getting this.
No fight. I don't know. That's a brawler. That's a brawler.
That's a brawler, though. Yeah.
So then don't say that
and
one.
Your wife's not gonna come up with that name.
Like Rampage. Like Rampage, was that fucking?
No, that was on Super Nintendo.
No.
Yeah. Come on, Dave.
And
What do you
Nintendo.
got? Come on. You saw the Sega commercials. You saw the articles. You saw the magazines.
This is painful.
Like, yeah, someday I'm gonna play that game.
It was all fucking Sonic. That's all it was.
That's all you can think of. All right.
Space
Just
So
Harrier.
nothing.
Have we mentioned this game at all today?
No.
Then no.
All right.
Just
All
I don't
right.
think so.
lay it
No,
on us.
I'm done.
I don't even have a guess.
I
The
quit.
game was from 1991. It was developed by Johnson Versanger
The fuck is
Studios. And the game was Toe Jam and Earl.
that? Oh. Okay.
Wasn't that a side scroller?
That's not a side-scrolling platformer.
No, it's like not the way you guys were like the way you were saying, like hopping around and all that stuff. It's not like a 2D. It's like
I don't really remember
above
that
thing,
game
and you
either.
go around. I don't know if you ever
I was gonna
played
say
it.
I've heard of it. I mean, but I don't think I've
I've never
played it.
played
Like
it.
I
You throw
obviously I
your
know
alien-
about it, but
You're two aliens and you land and you're trying to put your ship together and you have to like do like these levels and you throw tomatoes to knock things out.
Oh, it is like a top-down.
It was called a roguelike, an early roguelike. And they
Jam
made
and
3 of
Earl.
them or something like that.
Son
And
of
that I saw in Wikipedia that there's talks as of last year of making a movie based on Toe Jam and Earl.
pretty sure they
and
just
Wikipedia
released like
also
a
says
new
it's-
game recently.
It was such a big hit when it came out that they regarded them as the second mascot after Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
So-
I kind of do feel a little dumb for not knowing that, but at the same time, I never played a Toe Jam and Earl game.
I never
so-
played. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I
it's-
should have known it, but like I obviously know the game, but I don't know what type of game or what it even looks like. You know,
right.
like I know,
Right.
I know the cover.
Jammin'.
I know the cover, the characters, the name, but I don't.
Yep.
I don't even know if I've ever actually.
When you were
seen
going down the
game.
Booger Man and the Earthworm Jim like route, I was like, they're gonna get it because like
Yeah,
those
that-
are like
like,
goofy
those are the
looking
ones that I
humanoid
know.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Touche.
So there you go.
Sorry that took so long.
I'm sure
I
there-
don't know if
there's
anyone else
probably-
was like yelling like it's fucking
I
Toe Jam
guarantee
and
you
Earl. You don't even
There's
Duh.
listeners out there
Yeah.
that were screaming at us, but
What was cool about that game was the fact that it looked pretty cool at the time, but it was multiplayer at the same time. That was just always hard to pull off. You didn't see a lot of games doing that. I mean, there were games, but like it just wasn't done that well, and that was a big deal. And the screen would kind of come together and split. I don't know. It was a cool game.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this
All right.
puppy up. It was a long one.
Yeah. That's because you guys going through like the entire catalog of video games in the
My
90s.
God.
Well,
Ugh.
if you did, just like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you logged in a long time on this adventure. So we appreciate you for getting to the end of this one. We truly thank you for listening to this. Please go have fun with the video games you play. Talk if you really like them. Talk to people. Let them know about it. And if you really like it and you want us to talk about it, then let us know.
Yeah.
You can get a hold of us, and I'll let Eric actually take over on all that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to get at us, you can go to Twitter, Instagram at Nomads of Fantasy. Join our Discord, nomadsoffantasy.com/discord to talk to us directly there. You can even email us, nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com with all your questions, comments, suggestions, all that good stuff. You can play our game, whatmapgame.com. If you like guessing video game maps, you can go to our merch store. You can go to nomadsfantasy.com, click on that store link, buy some Nomads merch. Yeah, I think that's about it. Go to youtube.com/@nomadsoffantasy if you want to watch or see our beautiful faces while we're talking about this stuff and how dull and confused we were not knowing what this game was. But I think that's all I got for you. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Nope. Routini, all right. And I don't know. There's no slogan for Zelda, but have fun out there in Hyrule. Safe travels, nomads.